Brand new full-length studio album from Billy the Fridge, God Complex. Available on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere. Swear to God, oh my God, got a God Complex. God Complex.
Hey everybody, have you heard about the Drunken Peasants Patreon? It helps support the show while getting you some cool perks. Check it out! For $1 per month, you get to use our exclusive fan chat that appears at the bottom of the screen on every episode. For $5 per month, you get 2 new private shows, including Actual Mania, as well as our back catalog of private shows, plus all lower tier perks. For $10 per month, you get all of our monthly video content. This includes multiple post shows, our monthly reviews, our back catalog of all that content, plus all lower tier perks. For $15 per month, your name will appear in the ending credits of each DP episode, plus all lower tier perks. For $25 per month, you get to take part in our monthly booking committee hangout to help us book our Patreon content for that month, plus all lower tier perks. For $33 per month, you get an exclusive piece of DP merch each month, plus all lower tier perks. For $50 per month, you appear in the opening credits for each DP episode, plus all lower tier perks. For $100 per month, you get to join us as a guest on an episode of the Drunken Peasants podcast. Plus, you guessed it, all lower tier perks. Visit patreon.com/DP now to become a patron of the Drunken Peasants podcast.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants podcast.
I gotta get away with this. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Do it live!
This is DP episode 1358. So no, it's not a joke. Let's get it out of the way. It's not a joke. There's really no punchline if it was. Like,
Yeah.
no. And I'm gonna try not to lose it. It's still fresh with me. So I was just sitting around yesterday and my phone started ringing and I saw that it was Adam from Your Movie Sucks, Adam. And we don't normally call each other, you know. We usually text each other. So, you know, I was like, what's going on? You know, so I answered it. And he let me know that Scott had passed away. And at the time, this was about noon yesterday, to not talk about it yet because they were still figuring out what was going on. And basically, I had the unfortunate responsibility to tell the people in my circle about what had happened. So the first person I told was Billy here. And I didn't want to just text it to him. So I tried to call him, but I don't know if his phone was off or what was going on. But then I was like, can I call you right now? I have really bad news. And obviously that doesn't feel good to read. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you said that, I knew we lost somebody, and I was thinking of all these people, and Scott wasn't one of them that came to mind.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go. A lot of people are going to ask what happened. I don't know exactly what happened. I've heard things. I don't feel comfortable telling you what happened because I really don't know.
Thought the title was announcing Scott's retirement or something. Then I saw the news. This is absolutely devastating.
It is.
I am so sorry for your loss, guys.
So I don't know exactly what happened. I do know it wasn't like an accident or something. Like nothing unnatural occurred that caused his passing. He wasn't a drug guy. He wasn't a drinker. I've seen him drink like probably 3 times, and he didn't get drunk. He had like 1 drink.
He loves apple teenies. That's not an alcoholic's drink.
Well, yeah, and maybe he'll have like 1 or 2, you know? I saw him smoke weed literally once. Me and him went to Chicago together for this wrestling show, and
R.I.P. Big Cat. See you in the big ring in the sky, brother.
He went to a weed store with me, and he didn't normally go to them. It might have even been one of his first times in a weed store, which they've been legal where he lives forever.
Yeah.
And then he was curious. He's like, "Can I have a hit of that?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he took 1 hit of a weed vape. The ring in the sky thing. Yeah, yesterday we had thunderstorms here, which we don't normally have, and I was like, he's taking his bump in heaven today. Like, I don't believe in heaven, but, you know.
I only believe in it now that Scott's there.
Right.
The Friday night, he had a wrestling match, and it was against our friend Dan. I've known Dan and Scott for over 20 years. I actually met them both in real life for the first time 19 years ago this week, and we'd been friends online for years before that. And Dan was having his retirement wrestling match, and I had prior commitments in Tacoma where they were wrestling, and I was hoping I'd be able to get out in time to go see Dan and Scott and Dan's last wrestling match. And I pulled up to the venue, and I got there, and they'd all left. Everything was closed down. From what I heard, Scott was not feeling too well after the match and thought he was dehydrated. And they got him back to Canada, and he got to Canada, and he felt like he was okay to drive from there. One of their buddies, wrestling buddies, drove him back, and he drove home. And, everybody got that call the next day that you never think you're going to get.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So we have some, I didn't have a lot of time to throw this together, but I think we got some good moments. We can honor Scott's memory together. Please like the stream. I'm only going to mention this now and maybe like hours from now, but this is our 3rd show of the week. We're trying to meet this goal. We still do this for a living. We're still trying to keep the lights on here. Send in your thoughts and whatever you want. We're not going to push it too hard tonight, but if you want to send in something, feel free to do so. It's pinned at the top of the chat. And I will say, if you want, I don't like, it's up to Scott's family how much they put out, like whatever happened to Scott. You know what I mean? Like, it's up to them.
Yeah, you can follow
Adam,
or Adam or whoever.
Yeah,
when it's public, somebody will say something.
Because I know Adam has direct contact to Scott's family, and that's how he heard, and that's when he told me. So follow him on Twitter and subscribe to his channel. He'll probably do a video pretty soon. He's pretty broken up about it. So,
I met Adam through Scott originally.
Yeah,
and
you met Adam through Scott? I thought you knew Adam first, and then I might have it mixed up.
Yeah, I knew Scott way before.
I know
Adam.
you knew
Adam
Scott
met
first.
Scott 12. Yeah. So I met Adam originally through wrestling way back in the day, and I think, or maybe it was wrestling, maybe it was at a furry convention. I can't remember.
Cat.
Long time
Hold
ago.
Your cat's close tonight.
Hold your cats close, baby. If you got a tiger or even a lion. Scott was not a big lion guy.
No.
But if you have a lion,
he definitely wasn't a bobcat
close.
guy. Because I used to always troll him. I'd be like, yeah, your favorite cat's a bobcat. He hated what he referred to as the inadequate tail of a bobcat.
Bobcats are barely even big cats, though. Like, when it comes to big cats, it really comes down to a tiger or a lion.
There's other ones, too. But sure, those are like the top 2, I would say.
Panther's pretty big, I guess.
Oh, my God. Jaguars?
Gemlin White, is this going to read? The Super Chats do read, right?
Yeah. If they're over 5.
To meet him on Drake's podcast. Scoot was a great guy. Makes me laugh on YMS so much.
Yeah, we have a couple clips that Drake sent in from your podcast, so we'll get to it. But yeah, there's other big
Scott
hits.
is hilarious.
But yeah, this was so we were supposed to do a show yesterday, and after I told Billy, I was like, I don't feel like doing a show tonight, and also I wasn't supposed to we weren't supposed to talk
got to meet him, but I considered Scoot a friend and wished I could see one of his shows one day. I'm sad that day will now never come, but I'm happy for all the moments I had with him.
Hey,
I'll miss him greatly
Antifa
and
Cat
forever
Boy.
cherish his impact on my life.
You guys wouldn't have been friends, Antifa Cat Boy. You're a cat boy. You'd have been family.
I didn't want to feel like I was happy and having a good time last night. And then
I literally, after you told me, I had to record a podcast I promised to do 15 minutes later. And I'm like sitting there the whole time just glazed.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I woke up this morning and caught this 6:57 a.m. Pacific time, and this was Adam's official announcement. Drew's came out about the same time. Maybe they agreed to do it around the same time. I don't know.
they probably got clearance from the family or something. I know they just needed to tell everybody close to him before the world knew. Being moderately famous, you don't want anybody in the close family hearing about it through the internet or something, you know?
Yeah.
When I say moderately famous, it's not because Scott, wasn't famous enough. He just wasn't famous as he should have been. The guy was
I only saw Scott
super
through his
talented.
appearances here, but he really knew how to leave an impression. The world is a darker place without his feline magnificence. Heaven was invented by Big Cat Scott Henson, circa June 2024. R.I.P.
Now you can all get in there. You're
Thanks
welcome.
For all the laughs and good times. Condolences to you both for your loss.
It's you guys' loss too, man. He was a Drunken Peasants host.
It's the world's loss.
Yeah, he was the man.
So I saw people are sharing so many great photos. I saw this one with Scott so fucking baby-faced with also a young Bryan Danielson. This is a great photo.
Yep.
And for those of you who are not wrestling fans,
babies.
the guy in the middle is one of the biggest wrestlers in the world.
And Dan is next on the other side of Scott and Bryan Danielson. Dan, he's currently on his retirement tour. And this last Friday night, Scott's last match was Dan's last match in Washington State, and it was Dan, Scott, Drew, and Kelly. I've known these four boys for 20 years.
And we had Kelly here when I had those three guys here on the show.
Yeah, Kelly's been on the show. Drew's been on the show. Dan literally, Bryan Danielson this last month called out Dan Makabe and said, too bad you're retiring. It would be awesome to have a match with you. And like I said, that's Bryan Danielson. Like, and Dan and Scott were like the guys when it came to our wrestling circle. Scott was like the big guy, he was the hitter, and Dan was the tech guy, and they were just untouchable. And just to know that all four of those boys got one last match in before Scott was gone is almost bittersweet. It's just
how old is Scott here?
Scott wanted to be around
because I see
think he's
like Daniel Bryan's probably like 5 years older than me or so, maybe like almost 50.
Is he?
Or maybe he is like the same age as me. Let me see.
Yeah, I think he might be because I'm pretty sure these guys were around 20.
Oh yeah, he was
22 at the time.
Oh my God, we are like a matter of weeks apart in age. Me and Bryan Danielson. He was born in May of 1981. Yeah. I'm like a couple weeks older than him. Huh? Yeah, I had no idea.
He was an Aberdeen, Washington guy, so he was working all the indies when he was early on around here. And this is just early Bryan Danielson. These guys were Dan and Scott. And there was their friend Justin, who were like the three big hitters in their wrestling promotion. They were backyard wrestlers originally up in Vancouver, British Columbia, and they would troll the indie wrestlers because these guys, they studied Japanese wrestling. They would do all the Japanese wrestling like in the fucking bushes, wherever they could wrestle. They would do these hardcore fucking dope ass Japanese inspired matches, and the indie guys were like, fuck you guys, you're not real wrestlers. Like, you aren't even trained. Don't tell us what's good wrestling. And so these guys, out of spite, went and got trained to be professional wrestlers.
Terrible
just to spite the indie wrestlers.
Lost my house to a tornado a few weeks ago.
God.
Now we lost Scott. Legitimately one of my favorite guests. Miss you, Scoot.
Yeah. That's terrible, Jack. These guys trolled the indie guys and then took their jobs and became way more popular than they did once they got trained. Just fucking complete assassins.
Here's a good photo. The 100th anniversary crew.
There's Joe in the background, Hannibal and Monty, young Scott. There's 18-year-old Scott.
Me,
Adam.
18. Yeah, Adam and Vermin, who's Vosh's roommate, next to me there.
Yeah, Jeff Holiday.
Yeah, it's a great pick.
And Speck in the back.
Yeah, I see Speck with a mask on in the back.
Secret Speck wearing a mask. Dude, nobody believes in masks except Hannibal.
Yeah. You posted this one earlier. You can give some context to this one here.
Yeah, this was one of the 3-2-1 battle shows. A lot of our old Yarder guys flew in. A lot of these guys were guys that we would fly in to different areas of the United States. What is now known as Beyond Wrestling Online was a place that would host big events with us. We'd host stuff randomly in Pennsylvania and like the old mining towns. We'd have wrestling rings put in some guy's backyard. We'd all just get together to wrestle. And this is just one of those times where all these beefy boys got together and slapped each other on the ass for a night or two. And, Scott, he's right in the middle there, kissing the guy on the cheek.
Who's the guy he's kissing?
I honestly, I can't quite tell from the grainy photo.
Yeah, what year was this? Would you guess?
I think this was 2018 or 17.
Okay.
And one of the guys up there, Alex Zane, he was in WWE for a while. A lot of these guys, just old friends, little indie guys, just old buddies. And this is one of many photos where everybody was together, and Scott's right in the fucking center of the photo because he was that guy. He was the guy. Everybody wanted to work with Scott. Everybody wanted to laugh with Scott, go out to eat with Scott. He was the guy. Like, as cool as I am, Scott kind of outshined me often, which, we respected each other.
Oh my God. There's the venue that they do SOS wrestling in is called Edison Square. And it's on this street in South Tacoma. It's a strip with a lot of bars and stuff, and there's a bar right next to it. And I remember Scott and Drew and Kelly sometimes would stay here, and then I'd ride up with them or down with them to Tacoma to see the matches that night. And I wasn't allowed in the venue while they were setting up, so I'd go hang out at the bars or whatever. I remember one time I was talking to the bartender, and she was like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm watching my friends that wrestle next door at Edison Square." And they're like, "Oh yeah, who are they?" And I was like, "They're the Cat Guys," and they were like, "We love those guys." They were the most over baby faces in that entire promotion. Easily. And I remember Scott telling me they were him and Drew wanted to go heel, but the bookers at this promotion did not want them to go heel because they were incredibly over, insane.
Yeah, Yeah, Drew was a really good heel for a while.
You know what?
Once you go Cat
at Bumbershoot, he did like a throwback to his heel days and did like a heel match in his like I guess his old tights and everything. Yeah, I could see it.
The Scott's done heel stuff before, but he's just this big Hulk. Even before he had the Cat gimmick, he was like this big hulking guy, and for him to go heel, it took a lot because you didn't want to boo him. One of the things he would do early on, he would come out and his build weight was 222 pounds, and every time the announcer would say his weight, 222 pounds, the whole crowd would go 2 in unison. It was just like. He was always
That's
that
what
cool
your
guy.
222 was today. I didn't get the reference.
When I had a wrestling match with him way back when they were running out of the gym in Surrey, BC, and we did a match for the VCW World Championship title, which Scott was the champion at the time, and I said that I got my weight down to 444 pounds so I could be twice the man he was.
You got it down to it.
Yeah.
All right. Someone sent in these really early Scott promos that I really want to go through. There's a few of them. Here's the first one.
I want to do everything I didn't do in BCW. Problem is, I don't really know what that is. Like, I won all the titles. I was in the.
He will be missed. DP's Eternal Peasant.
Eternal Peasant. He is being bestowed the title of Eternal Peasant. Because people were like, oh, Scott for third peasant. Scott is eternal. Kim Jong-il. Or no. Kim Il-sung is the eternal president of North Korea, and I now bestow the title of Eternal Peasant upon Big Cat Scott Henson forever.
How hard do you think it would be to write up an AI of Scott's fursona and use Scott's AI voice and just have fursona Scott Tiger Cat on the show forever?
Oh my God.
I don't know. I traveled everywhere. What is there to do here? I don't really know. But I guess the one thing I'm going to try to do here is get some respect. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Scott, what are you talking about? You've traveled the world. You're world respected. And you know what? I don't know if I am. I think I'm world known, because I've been everywhere. But I don't know if I'm world respected. I think that's...
I like how he's doing this whole promo like this. Like he's cold or something.
It's chilly.
Something different. I think there's still a lot of prejudice in the world. I think the Jews have made some progress. I think the blacks have made some progress. I think the gays are getting there. One day they're going to get to marry. One day.
Hey, he's prophetic right there.
But there's still a lot of prejudice against half humans in the world. I mean, we don't get to vote. We don't get to own land.
I can hear the cameraman laughing right there when he said, we don't get to vote.
Yeah, we would film promos all the time back in the day and crack people up who were filming. It's just we like a lot of these. This probably didn't have an audience around this period. I can't remember if he was working in the gym without an audience or not. But most of the stuff we would do early on for promos was just to pop other friends online.
Sure. This is hilarious. I like how he's like the Jews had their time.
Proud. He did do proud. And goddamn, I just hope he did himself proud as well. Please rise for an honorary family chant. Family.
We have our own schools.
Family.
I don't know if that's fair. So I'm going to try to get some respect here. And the only way I see to be able to do that is to become the champion of men here in I Suck Sticks. Even though in the eyes of the law,
I Suck Sticks!
Yeah. I can't remember what it stood for. International.
Oh my God. They started with what they wanted it to say and then try to create an acronym.
Oh, yeah. because they were VCW, Vancouver Championship Wrestling, and then like they got so big and over with everybody online. They were like, we're changing it to I Sucks Dicks just to fuck with people.
Oh my God. All right, here's the next one.
Who am I fighting at XWA? Dave Maynard. Dave Maynard, backyard legend, who wrestles twice a year and not very well. But how did he become a backyard legend? Oh yes, same as a lot of people. Flips. You see, I had to take a slightly different route to become a backyard legend. I don't wrestle well a bunch of times in a row. Clearly I could have got to the top a little faster had I hit the gymnastics joint one or two more times. And Dave, when I went to Supercard at HWF, I got there was already a lot of people there hanging around, had an interaction with a few people, and I say to myself, what that? But more importantly, I say to myself, who is that scummy fucking kid in the corner smoking a cigarette? And everyone's like, oh, that's Dave Maynard. I'm like, oh, makes a lot of sense. And Dave Maynard, even before your first impression of me, long before, you had a profound impact on my life. I stopped professional wrestling because of you, and I was a little worried you might Josh Abercrombie me, as they say. And even before that, I stopped writing reviews of wrestling shows because I was afraid you might CTC me, if you know what I mean.
I always considered Scott a friend. I always looked up to him as he was always extremely kind and funny and didn't realize outside of the small community we were in he was as big as he was. Hope he's throwing paws in the big ring in the sky.
You know he is. Yeah.
But that's all in the past. We got Legend versus Legend, Legend A through Legend B being you. And I heard now that you might not even be coming to the show, which is fine. Save us both a little bit of trouble. If you don't come, that gives me no reason to even go to XWA. And instead, I'm going to go to Ring of Honor, which I have heard described, I don't know if this is true, as the VCW of the pros. And if this is in any way valid, that's something I got to see. So Maynard, maybe
the VCW of the pros.
Ring of Honor.
Yeah, Ring of Honor, VCW of the pros.
All right, I have to pee already. I'll be right back.
Yeah, VCW, Vancouver Championship Wrestling. At the time, I was a backyard wrestler, and I met Scott and all the boys on the Backyard Wrestling Link, and it was this forum. This is the late '90s, early 2000s, and you didn't really have YouTube or anything, so people didn't really get together on these social media platforms
Going
yet.
To Miss Scoot,
message boards were it.
He'll be a big sexy cat daddy Viking. Enjoyed watching his wrestling lives on VC. I hope his family finds peace. R.I.P. Legend. Your absence will be missed.
What's up, Eric? How you doing, brother? And I started going up to wrestle with the VCW boys in like 2005, and for a couple of years I was going up there very regularly, and it was just a great group of guys. They put on awesome matches just for people online to watch, and then eventually the internet wrestling community fell in love with these guys too, because they never stopped. They just kept going. Scott and Dan wrestling for crowds with Drew and Kelly and everybody else. Is just these guys. Scott, I say these guys because like all these guys are mourning Scott so much right now. My wrestle buddies, and it's Scott was like the head honcho. Him and Dan. And at the time, Justin were just these three fucking killers. And all the other guys around them were just these dope-ass wrestlers. And they'd go and they would fucking have fun. They weren't doing it for money. They didn't care about fucking being like big stars. They were trying to go out there and just kill it. And they did.
R.I.P. Scott.
They did.
A truly cool and funny guy. You will be missed, Big Cat.
Here's
so funny. He's so good at everything he does. All I can say is his early death must have been some blood deal he made with the devil because he wanted to have all the talent in the world. And it's the only thing that makes sense. He's paying off a blood debt for being the most talented son of a bitch of all time.
Here's another classic Scott promo.
Mike Quest, me and you on BYE Day 2. This is what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to get you in the ring, and I'm going to eat you like that fry, Mike Quest. I'll see you in the ring.
This one is special to me because I actually filmed this promo. It was at Bumbershoot, which is for those of you who don't know, it's a huge music festival in Seattle every summer, and they started wanting to have wrestling there, so they hired the SOS wrestling organization to
RIP to our big cat friend. He will be missed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I went there with Drew and Kelly. That's why Drew, Kelly, and Scott were all here, and we did the show and everything. They were here to do Bumbershoot, and I was like their +1, and I got in, and there was a cat circus there, and they were like, they were having their match that next week against the tag champs, where they were inevitably going to win the SOS Tag Team Championship. And they wanted to film a promo at the cat circus. And the thing was, there was a line that would have taken like over an hour to like get in.
Yeah.
Scott decided to finesse the woman working the door, and like clockwork, we all got in, like we all got to skip the line so that they could film this promo. And I was actually, it was on my phone that I filmed this. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's fluent in cat lady.
Yep.
The Academy, September 8th, Edison Square, Tacoma, Washington. You want to teach us a lesson? You're educators, you're questioning our...
You can hear how loud it is because it's Bumbershoot, so it's so fucking loud.
Credentials as cats. We're here at the Cat Circus at the Bumbershoot Music Festival in Seattle, Washington, with our people. Hey, people!
Those are cat people.
We're learning a few new moves for next week, moves you're not going to be ready for. Now, credentials, what do you think? I think we're cats.
I think we've proven time and time again we're cats. Tails, big and claws.
But are you the Academy?
Where's your diploma?
Oh, probably online from the Cayman Islands?
That's it.
About right.
You guys don't strike us as the intelligent type of gentleman you seem to portray.
No, I think you made an especially dumb move, challenging us to a schoolyard street fight.
Whatever that is.
On September 8th. You look, we'll jump through any hoop you got now.
You can call it whatever you want to call it. We'll do anything. We are game for anything, as long as you face us like the educators you are.
You said those titles mean everything to you. You're nothing without those titles. You made us put our tails on. We're nothing without these. But that's okay, because after next week, one of us is going to be nothing.
They had, by the way, Scott had a tail for the ring, and then he was like, I remember one night he was like, did you notice? I have a walking around tail. I have a tail for walking around that I can wear after I wrestle.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You gotta have one active tail that can be pulled on during the match.
I was
and then
always
one that's more
captured by
decorative.
Scott's infectious passion for wrestling and the wrestling community, and could have listened to him talk about it for ages. I can only assume that he brought that to all aspects of his life and relationships. He will be missed. Rip Scott.
Ain't us. Yeah. Okay? Now you're in the business of teaching lessons. So are we next week. That lesson is don't F with cats. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Don't F with cats.
And by the way, every Christmas, he would brag to me that his mom, because my mom was a shitty cook. I love you, Mom. If you're watching, she watches. Sometimes she was not a good cook. And he'd be like, my mom made beef Wellington for Christmas.
Yeah,
and
he would brag about that forever.
Oh, every year. I went back through my DMs with him today because I knew him for about 4 years or so, and every Christmas he'd be like, look at this beautiful beef Wellington. I'm like, when am I invited? You know?
That's the family beef Wellington.
That looks delicious. Like,
oh yeah,
I can't lie. Scott was also in a Netflix.
Scoot was the funniest person I've ever heard. I got to tell him just once how much he makes me laugh. We loved you, Catman.
Yeah, Scott was one of those people that everybody like he is very interesting. He had this air of like being better than you, but he was also the sweetest, kindest person. He was very good to everybody.
It's the weird Canadian politeness that even when they try to be that way, it just doesn't go away. Like it's polite and rude at the same time.
He was great and awesome and nice and just he played everything so well. When the word perfect comes to mind, he really came off. He was like the living Mr. Perfect. I hate saying this about him because he's gone, and it sounds like I'm talking shit, but it's because he's not here to hear it. I would never tell him to his face because I want him to feel so good about himself. Fuck.
They film a lot of movies in Vancouver, and WWE was filming a movie for Netflix a couple years ago, and they needed people with wrestling experience to be part of the movie, and I don't know. I might get a DMCA for this. I'll probably cut it out of the stream if I get any, like if YouTube gives me shit for it. But here's the 4-minute clip from this movie where Scott is in it, and I think the last time he was on, I was like, "You were Red Singlet Man," because he wears a red singlet in it. He doesn't wear his cat shit in it, so it's so weird to see him in like a red singlet. And by the way, he admitted he didn't watch this movie, even though he's in it, because it sucks. But here it is.
Call me Smooth.
What's this big dude's name? I can't remember.
Is that Keith Lee?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Operator.
So, the plot of this movie is a little kid, gets some kind of magic that makes him, a wrestler. So he's, a little kid, but he's
Air Bud?
You can call me Smooth.
And no one's like, why are you 4 feet tall in this movie?
Smooth in the ring, and I got this
Otis back
silky
there?
smooth voice. Sweet.
I think it is,
I'm
actually.
Kid Chaos. I like it.
Kid Chaos.
Nice to meet you. It smells like old bus seats.
Chaos.
Yeah, it's such a terrible name, too. Why make this movie? Oh, yeah, and The Miz comes out, and I said, by the way, you can see Scott already in the upper left-hand corner of the screen in his red singlet. And I said, this is how I knew that Scott was a good actor, because he would not be excited for The Miz.
Gorn too soon. I hope all of yins get through this rough time yins are going through. Meow. I loved how much he hated people who say yins. But I knew he was just joking, even though he would say he wasn't joking. This joint's
he
for
wasn't
yins
joking.
who can't smoke.
He hated you, nigga.
I'm going to edit out Miz's stupid music, because that'll catch a flag if nothing else.
Was Miz playing a good guy here?
I don't. He's playing himself, so I think he's playing.
Henson, Scott Henson. WRASSLAN.
It's Henson with an E, but I appreciate it.
Henson, Scott Henson Wrestling.
He used to joke that
Miz.
Jim Henson was his dad.
Who here is ready to be a superstar?
There he is. Yeah, Scott in the back right there. Like, yeah. In the red singlet all the way in the back middle.
Is that Shotzi there too?
I think so.
It is my pleasure to welcome you to to this winner take all.
By the way, The Miz, and you know I love to defend Ohio people. He's one of the worst wrestlers that ever like reached like top guy status. You know, like he was the champ for a little while in WWE, which is like
WrestleMania 27 main event, left the champion. A lot of people don't go in champion and leave champion.
I'm sorry, I don't like The Miz.
NXT competition. I'll be your awesome host. Watching on as we test
from Leo?
Scott didn't like The Miz either. No. I'm just being like me and him. We had several wrestling conversations. Scott not a fan of The Miz.
Scott doesn't get an opinion anymore.
Oh, he does.
Inside a steel cage of...
What is this? Oh. This movie's good.
No, it is not. Stop. Oh, another thing, Scott.
Oh, it's got fucking
Dom Herrera.
Ken Marino in it?
Or that's his name. Yeah, Ken Marino.
Yeah, Ken Marino?
From the state. He was in the state. He was the I want to dip my balls in it guy. Another thing Scott would say was Billy liked every movie. He'd be like, Billy likes every movie.
He was, he was half right. I like half of them.
No. 90% of them. If you like this movie, this is the worst movie ever.
It's got Scott in it. I love it.
He didn't even like it.
You know what?
He didn't watch it.
No.
Look at that guy with the dreads in the background. Did he break the seat?
Stand.
Are you done? Are you done?
I am, yes. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, let's get started. Barrel Tom.
What?
Yeah. Is this how they figure out
that barrel, Otis?
Who's a wrestler? They toss barrels? Like, what is this? Did Vince McMahon write this
NXT
movie?
did do shit like this, right? The early NXT?
When it was a reality show, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he threw that hell. What? This little kid?
Yeah.
Captain Chaos is strong. Shit. He threw it through the roof. He put the house down. Did Scott?
Could Keith Lee do a fucking flip off the top rope like that?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That was not, the kid didn't really do that jump. He was on wires.
No, that was real. This movie's called The Main Event, by the way, and it's on Netflix.
They got the crash pads out. I want to know who this big guy is and why he never got a contract.
Yeah. Maybe he sucks
He should
at
at least
wrestling.
be running rampant on TNA.
There's Scott right there, by the way, another Scoot appearance, right? Dude, they look at how cool everyone else's costume is, and they gave him like the bland ass red singlet. That's such bullshit.
Yeah. That's the look Scott was going for.
No, he didn't know. He would have worn his cat gear.
He wouldn't want WWE to own that image.
There he is again.
What's this guy?
I love the look on his face too. He's like,
I love how many bellies are out in this. Oh, snap. Is this the kid from Smart Guy?
I've never watched that show, so I have no idea. And yeah, so they're picking like the wrestlers, and Scott doesn't get picked, so he's like, "Oh shit." He's like, "Oh, okay,
There
I'll
you
clap
can
for
see
you.
Scott's.
I'll clap for you."
Scott's package over there. That's not a small package.
Oh my god.
That's a full roll up.
Thank you.
How'd they pick Country Hick with the straw in his mouth over Scott?
I don't know.
This is bad booking.
I told you it's a terrible movie.
And the last finalist moving on to the tournament is
Little boy. Or is it... Who's the guy next to the little boy with the fucking flame pants and the is that a hijab? What is that?
I have no idea, but terrible. And Scott's like, "Oh shit."
We got 2 American gimmicks. There's actually 2 flame gimmicks that didn't get picked too. Poor fucking Scott. He came in his best red singlet. He was ready to eat everybody's steak.
Miss, you made the right choice.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's terrible. Anyway.
Nice. That kid recognizes Miz made the right choice. Psych. Scott was there and you picked a little kid? What an idiot.
I will forever honor the memory of Scott by complying with his plea to mankind to make Egghead sad.
That was a very good one.
Yeah, I just speaking of making Egghead sad, I know we promised you a Hall of Fame this year, but Scott kind of jumped ahead of you.
Scott has fruit by the meter.
I do want to point out that Egghead had Scott blocked on Twitter for several years also.
For good reason. Egghead's male fragility can't handle the half man, half cat.
Here's it's YML talks about gay people donating blood. What is this?
All right,
If you're going to be in a major motion picture, might as well leave your dick print in it, just like he's left in All Out Hearts. R.I.P. to the Siberian Beauty.
Right?
Subject matter here. And
There's a bunched up red singlet package in all of our hearts right now.
Yes. Let's do it.
So there's a lot of people that are very stupid that are still like, gay people shouldn't be able to give blood.
Major motion picture. It had Miz in it.
Where it's like,
had Otis in it. That's major.
First of all, you can test for AIDS. Second, testing has gotten much better.
That gay people with AIDS shouldn't be able to give blood.
Sure.
What do you think about that?
I don't care.
I think straight people with AIDS should.
But
luckily there aren't any.
The biggest argument that I've had against it is like, your sexuality is not the most determining factor. It's also like the level of like promiscuous you are. So if you're a gay male in a relationship with another male, totally monogamous,
what do you
don't
mean,
have
one
sex with
other
other
male?
people. Yeah, and if you've been doing that for like the past year,
but no one's ever
or
done
whatever, that. Oh, that's funny. If you've been doing that for the past year, right? You should like, they should be able to determine, because all it's based on is a questionnaire. Where first of all, anybody who is gay could lie and say they're straight anyway. So obviously they do test for the blood. But like,
can you tell if someone's gay by their blood?
No, but if you're gay, if you're openly gay, they wouldn't let you donate blood for the longest time.
A monogamous gay couple who have had sex with each other
doesn't exist,
and only each other, but have had sex in the past 6 months.
Never happened.
Sort of thing, right? Versus, let's say, a straight woman who has sex with every random person at the truck spot. You know, like
the truck spot.
The truck spot, right?
The truck spot.
Like, the wrong group of people is banned from giving blood in that scenario. Like, there should be more determining factors than just purely sexuality. But unfortunately, it's like,
I think the determining factor is that anal sex has very, very minimal skin tissue in the anus, so you're more likely to transmit through anal sex than through vaginal sex. But that doesn't mean butt slut women shouldn't be discontinued from serving up blood.
Sex with a man in the past 6 months or whatever, then you're not eligible to give blood.
There should be one question. Are you a slut, man or woman?
Right. I mean, it's all based off a questionnaire anyway. So people have said like, oh, how would you know if they've been monogamous?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, how do you know they're gay then? Right? Like,
because you
literally
fucking
just
test
based on- yeah. Like, so yeah, it's really stupid.
How do you know they're gay?
It's
we saw in the chat they put glitter in their blood.
Bizarre that it's still a thing in, you know, relatively progressive Western countries. You know, it's being phased out for sure, but I think that there's a lot of stigma associated with it because, yes, of course, gay males are, you know, statistically more likely to have HIV.
Statistically sluttier.
If you account for just sexuality alone and no other factors, right? But as soon as you start accounting for those other factors, then it's like, okay, well, this isn't really the only determining factor.
It's sluttiness.
And also
it's sluttiness. He just keeps going.
Let's play another game with this hypothetical.
I like games.
This is something that another friend of mine said a while back. So even if, let's say, even if, let's say, there was no way to tell whether or not your blood had... I shot him in the butt. Wow. Okay,
oh, there goes
him. If, let's say, there was no way to tell whatsoever that blood had HIV in it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say there's no way to tell someone's gay. I'm like, it's really easy. Listen to them talk for 4 seconds.
I remember when we had Vosh on and we were talking about Cardi B. We're talking about how she talks. And Scott was like, oh, you mean how she talks retarded? You mean like she's retarded? And all of like Vosh's fans got all mad. It was funny.
Let's say I shot him in the tail and I killed.
But he lived.
That's insane. If you shoot them in the tail, they live, and you get to keep their tail.
Holy shit!
That's nuts.
Scott's Voice Podcast / Recast. I want it. A total biscuit.
Thank you, Swell Shank, the MVP of gifted memberships. By the way,
nice.
Swell
Gamer.
Shank.
You gamed.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Let's say there was no way to tell whether or not there was HIV. Right now, and consistently throughout time, this has been a recurring thing. There's shortages of people donating blood, and there's literally people dying because of it. So you're forced to make the decision. Let's say you're forced to make the decision of, oh, I'm going to die or I get AIDS blood.
Yeah, if the other option
the fucking AIDS
is
blood.
die.
Like, if literally you don't have blood, get fucking AIDS blood.
Hashtag give them the AIDS blood.
They'll survive, and they'll live with a disease that doesn't even kill them. They just take a pill every so often. Like,
yeah, these days that is the case.
Like, what the fuck?
It's called PrEP.
Seriously? It's so insane. I don't understand it at all.
Yeah, I think this
people are
gays
absolutely
not
insane.
giving blood thing was issued in back when you thought you could still get HIV from
But it
sharing a soda.
lasted. It might even still be the policy. I don't know.
Give them the AIDS legitimately, unironically.
It's literally it's better than dying.
Me, like,
sure.
Today we're gonna end your life, or you get AIDS. I would rather have AIDS. It's not even AIDS. It's HIV, right?
Yeah.
It's like you just take a pill.
It's just more fun to say AIDS.
Oh,
Look,
we're gonna end your
if
life.
I was gonna die and the blood I had Magic Johnson style AIDS in it, I would totally take Magic Johnson AIDS. He had the dope HIV. He was living large for a long time.
Because it wasn't AIDS, it was literally like it never progressed to AIDS.
Because we're not allowing people to donate bloods that.
But if it was like the Easy-E HIV, I'd be like, ooh, I don't know about that.
That was AIDS. The AIDS is the thing you die from. HIV is the virus that causes AIDS. That's the difference.
Bloods.
Yeah.
We're not allowing people to donate Crips or Bloods that have HIV. Like, that's
that
fucking
doesn't
stupid.
Seem fair. I would take the AIDS. I would take the AIDS blood as long as you promise it's from a straight person. I will not take gay AIDS blood.
Yeah, only straight AIDS.
Oh
straight
my
AIDS
God!
From a girl.
From a girl.
From a girl.
I love how Adam, who is this, he's playing the straight man so well. He's just saying everything matter-of-factly. He's barely budging to Scott at all. He got through what he was trying to say. Now that he's trying to say, Scott finally says it one more time, and Adam takes his time to laugh now. What a great duo. Oh, man, they played so well together. Because Scott was relentless, and Adam just kept going through, making his point.
If only such a thing existed.
Adam is the gay straight man.
And he's playing the game, too, which is like another thing.
I know one.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that, but you swim in interesting circles.
I know two people with HIV. One of them's a girl.
Have they always been a girl?
Yeah.
That's literally what I was thinking, too. I was literally just thinking that. And I wouldn't have admitted it, but Scott said it first, and Scott's immune to all criticism now. I was thinking that too.
So hard. I wouldn't have laughed so hard had I been thinking it. So you guys beat me to that.
I was
one.
definitely thinking it.
Yeah.
Seems sus. And is the other one Magic Johnson? Yes. Rich, white, straight AIDS only, please.
Yeah, it's like unironically like fucking Clown World to be like, oh, we're just gonna let you die. There's people willing to give bloods, but they might have AIDS. Also, Crips.
what a
Hey
great
guys,
clip.
it's January 2022.
All right. Here's another one.
Oh God.
I mean,
Terrifying.
you knock a few more out, and then you can get down to business. Oh, I said that out loud. I said that out loud, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't tell me about knocking a few
I
more
would
out.
like to issue an emergency apology.
A retraction, if you will?
No.
No.
Never a retraction.
Okay, the next kink in tonight's kink shame extravaganza, consensual non-consent. You guys.
Oh, rape for babies?
Yeah, exactly.
Do it or don't. Don't fucking pussyfoot around.
Exactly.
I want to pretend I'm being raped. Shut up.
Yeah. Here's the pretend. Pretend you're with me.
Here's Trumpster Bob talking about. Oh my God, that look! Holy shit!
Yeah.
I think this is another wrestling video. I don't want to listen to the Halloween music, but I guess
the shadows.
Yeah, look at these guys. They look big.
I wonder
though.
if these guys were double booked on the card.
Nick Price is back,
Nick.
and he's brought some company. That's right, Big Cat Scott Henson. Tonight we're wrestling the Shadows. I don't know how we're going to wrestle Shadows, but all I know is that we are the Van City Warriors, BCW.
Combined weight of 420 pounds. The team of Ravenous Nick Price and Scott Henson. Collectively, they are the Van City Warriors.
Nick was the sweatiest wrestler. He would sweat
Did you
all over
wrestle
the
him?
ring and just go like a son of a bitch. I can't remember if I wrestled Nick.
Just saw the stream notification and I'm about 45 minutes behind. I was really hoping the title was clickbait.
No, we would never
RIP
clickbait
to
that.
everyone.
I would think like a sweaty wrestler is the hardest one to like pick up because he'd be slippery. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, it worked though. They never.
Did
dropped
anyone ever
anybody.
slam you?
Yeah, every once in a while I would get like
Was it like a super
Uranagi or a. No, this one little Juggalo guy got me up in a in like a fall away slam.
Were you
Kurt Angle
like?
slam
Were you
thing.
bracing your? Were you like touching his legs to like help him?
I did a little bit of a jump and a roll, but he got me good. He put some weight into it. He was a tough little son of a bitch.
When you watch Hogan slam Andre is like doing a push up on Hogan's legs.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do the body slam. You're supposed to what is it called? Post off of the leg.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone, to the West Coast Wrestling Connection. Todd Kennelly, Jeff Aiken here with you.
I don't
we
know.
are still just
Yeah, this is only 5 minutes. I don't know if the whole match is only 5 minutes,
happened.
but
You know, usually in my time,
usually
Yeah,
these...
Nick was always.
Go ahead.
Nick was always wrestling with us all the time. He was a little guy then. I think he was 17 or 19 when I met him.
Is he bigger
Such
now?
a young guy. Bigger now? Like
size?
I think he's always this guy. He would. I don't know if he got much bigger
professional
than this.
wrestling, it's a special
He had
moment
gas.
when a
He would.
title changes hands.
he would roll.
You remember where you were when you called it. Special. It was
Ow!
something rings here in the arm.
It was sick. It was just. I mean, credit where credit due. Conlon definitely taking advantage of a situation and doing
These
what he
got to
had
be
do.
main event guys wearing black suits to fill the card out.
Yeah, because they got a job. They got a job, but they can't job as themselves, right?
Yeah, they're so
they
jacked.
Look,
and,
they look really big.
Belt, but I mean, they call it professional wrestling, Todd. Do we expect a little professionalism out of these competitors?
Well, you know, and I hate to admit it, though. He did. He was entitled to do it because of that winner's choice.
Whoa!
opportunity.
Hell yeah!
Drop
Oh,
down.
dude!
Little double team in here.
He hit the apron really
by
hard.
Henson and Price as we hit the reset button here, Jeff.
Yeah, we got to. I mean, it happens. Caleb Conley's your legacy champion, and I don't want to miss what's going on in the ring here. We have two.
Nick dated Victoria from WWF for a while.
Oh yeah, this is the guy you told me about.
Yeah,
you told me this story before. You know what? Just like I think it was like a year or two ago, Scott got like a completely new wardrobe. There's a dude that lives here in Seattle that makes all of the gear that him and Drew wear.
Yeah.
I think Drew gets it too there. And I got to go to his place and see him sewing it and stuff. It was really cool. You know, like
yeah, the guy lives in Capitol Hill.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
Yes.
I had to pick up some gear from him one night for Scott.
Okay. Yeah.
Brought it into the studio.
Competitive tag teams with a debut. Nick Price went out, got himself a tag team partner in Scott Henson.
He's a big guy and he can move it. And so far they've shown some good double teaming. And he's got his paws on him here for the backslide.
Yeah, just very unique ring gear. And I've never seen anything like it quite before, Todd. But I mean,
yeah, dude, that guy's arm is so gigantic. It's unbelievable. Like
shadows, the shadows we've seen them time and again in here. Definitely a competitive tag team. There are many shadows. I'm just making a guess here. These are two of my favorite shadows.
You know, there are
many shadows.
They always say like it's the moves that are normal that you break shit on. Like it's not the like high spots or whatever. And Scott broke his arm doing like a move that he had done like 100 times and was out of commission for a while because
it just elevates him down into the strike, and that shadow in there is a big man to get in that launch position. And we got to talk about it, Jeff. Of course, we still have the Pacific Northwest heavyweight title.
Special Flake asks, why don't people just slam people like this in the UFC? Because UFC fighters aren't as tough as wrestlers. Duh.
I mean, if you're slamming someone in the UFC the way they slam them here, your face is open to like get pummeled. Like, yeah, you're slamming them, but they're
only wrestlers are tough enough to pull this off.
Okay, you're right.
The tag team titles up for grabs. So the remainder of the tag team division really trying to jockey for a good spot on that ladder.
You're right. The whole thing has shifted. We had the lateral punch by Nick Price, and just a 2 count there. But the American gun.
By the way, Scott had a shoot match with someone that he had an online feud with. And he sent me the link to it forever ago, and I went through all of my DMs with him, and I could not find it. We watched it on one of the episodes he was on. He like, him and some dude got into, like, shit talk on the online forums that everyone was using, all the indie wrestlers, and they met up at a gym, and the people of the gym would not let them do, like, striking. It was, like, holds only. And Scott just submitted this guy every time within a couple minutes, every time.
Trying to remember who that was. I don't recall exactly. I'm like 3 different people are going through my head right now. And I might be wrong about it too, but yeah.
Sat atop the tag team mountain for so long, and then the titles were jockeyed around, and the Wrecking Crew is now firmly ensconced in that position. Good tag team wrestling there by the Shadows, but yeah, everybody's jockeying in that position. The Shadows, the Hippies. Nick Price wanted to get in on it, so he went and got himself scouted.
I wonder if the Shadows have ever won a match.
I have not seen the Shadows this physical, and this.
I have not seen the Shadows this physical.
Wow, ever.
In SOS, they have a tag team that's all, well, I haven't been in a few months, but for a while, they had a very popular tag team that was like chimpanzees.
This might be
they had chimp costumes and they'd wrestle.
Opportunity to break through that ceiling. Yeah, you talked about
was the tag team called Monkey Business?
I can't remember.
Across the ring, Henson, you'd have Fruit Loops and Tony the Tiger.
Be great.
Set you up for that one.
I had to swing at that one. But again, great tag team action or tactics, by the Shadows right there. As the one Shadow got on the outside. A lot of nonverbal communication going on between the teams and some double team moves. Shadows very much refining their game.
Well, they've cut the ring off and they've really isolated Price. You know, last time we saw him in a very tough matchup with Ashton Khan and a jawbreaker there, but Price trying to make it to his corner now. Can he?
He does.
The big man.
I love how, like, in the indie scene, the ropes are all warped. Like, if you look at them, they've got, like, waves in them. And you never see that, like, in the big leagues. Probably because how they have to store them or ship them. I don't know. Because for most people that don't know, they're, like, steel cables coated in rubber.
Yeah, I think it's just Depends on the build.
And he does likewise a tag on the other side.
Exactly. Now Scott Henson, he's got his paws flying in the air. I don't know if I'm going to call that a forearm or what, but he takes down that shadow, takes down the one on the ring as well. Big scoop. Slam by Henson.
What's gonna do?
Henson bouncing around.
Oh!
Let Kickers do best. But look at that. Flips through, connects, but the shadow comes in to make the save.
That's good.
Scott with the senton.
Double axe handle there by the shadow.
Looking
and now we
pretty
have both
as hell.
shadows in the ring, and Scott Henson.
I remember when him and Drew knew that they were going to win the title. It was a hardcore match, and I went to Big 5 Sports with them so they could like get their gimmicks ready, and they even had like blade gimmicks and everything ready. And Drew was the one that was going to do all the color. And I watched the match, and Drew was bleeding like forever, like crazy amounts. And it ended up they didn't even use the gimmicks.
Nonverbal. Moment of silence.
Yeah, Drew got like busted open for real, and they just used that instead. It's pretty crazy.
Man on an island.
He really is. A referee has got to get one of these shadows out of there. They've got 5 seconds to work with. And
look at Nick Price. Look at Nick Price.
Price couldn't get all of them there. Just a glancing blow. And did that do some damage to that already injured knee?
Couldn't tell from the angle if that was a
getting up rather slowly.
double drop kick or a flying knee.
Shadow there to capitalize. Price though with the block. Next that time. And Henson now trying to get his paws on this shot. It's tough to get around that big.
A man's about to lariat.
Takes his head off. What a win by the debuting Scott Henson and ravenous Nick Price.
This next one's called Scott Henson Confesses.
Scott, you used.
Oh, this is from Drake Dragsaw's podcast.
Reporting on a previous stream, and I was like, I'm surprised you were familiar with the slang.
I know all kinds of slang.
You know the origin of it, though?
It's from Steven Spielberg's Minority Report, 2002.
It's from Among Us.
Then, no.
You
obviously.
idiot! You dumbass!
Then I didn't know that.
Was that a genuine answer?
No, it was just the first thing that came to my head that had report in it.
Why'd you say it so confidently?
Because I'm a liar! I lie!
I lie! Oh, I've been drinking all day because I'm depressed. I'm going to put you full screen. I got to go pee again. My bladder's so small.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of appropriate ages, I went out today and I had a nice meal with a buddy of mine. I told him last night what happened with Scott, and he was like, let's go get lunch tomorrow. I had a nice lobster in honor of Scott. One time I went to the Nordic Lodge buffet with Scott, and me and a few other guys were all trying to go plate for plate, and Scott was like, oh, I'm going to eat more plates than you, but I'm only going to get lobster each plate. He went through like 10 lobsters. It was a good night. I miss them nights. Rubbing down. Just broing down with the broy bros. The broiest of bros. Yeah, Instabrim says Scott was 100% himself, even if lying. The lies don't count when you're a pro wrestler because you're working people. I remember we were in Ohio. It was Bellevue, Ohio. And he worked the whole crowd. Him and Matt Schalk had this match that they worked like for the longest time. They were really fucking pissed at each other. Fuckers played us. It was so good. So good. So many good memories. And we went to Club Raj. And Club Raj was this just shithole strip club. And they found out we were wrestlers because they played the DJ played the Val Venus song, and we all popped. And so started playing wrestling music all night. They played the Stone Cold wrestling music in the strip club, and we all just go around start giving each other Stone Cold stunners in the strip club.
I heard you guys had the Randy Orton, hey, that you guys would do.
Yeah. Yeah, that weekend, if they said, hey, you know, you were getting
RKO'd.
What is it? The RKO, the diamond cutter?
The RKO.
Hey, and then like one of our buddies ran up to our other buddy who was on a motorcycle in traffic and gave him an RKO off the motorcycle in traffic.
Oh my God.
It's fucking nuts.
That is
hey,
crazy.
Eric knows. Hey. We did that gimmick for a while. It was fucking fun, dude.
There are a couple. None commit that hard though, which is sad. What's that? Yes.
He's got a bowl of ramen.
I insist. You want to go lap? You want to
Don't
go
worry,
same?
everybody. I've already started my hunt for the Dragon Balls. We'll have Scott back within 130 episodes.
Don't make promises you can't keep, Robot Chicken.
Or you want to go to two different chairs?
I want to go back to my own chair.
How do you want to handle? I mean, you can go back to your chair, but would you
holding soup?
Would you? I am holding soup.
You're holding soup.
I don't see why that's necessarily a deal breaker.
Yes, Victor.
The last time I was in Canada, Scott took me to this place called Belgian Fries. I was like, where you get good poutine? He was like, oh, we got to go to this place.
Yeah, it's fucking good.
And we go there, and there's a menu, and each dish on the menu has a number next to it. So I go up to the counter. I'm like, oh, I'll have a number 5 or whatever it was. And they're like, we don't do numbers here. And I look at Scott, and he just starts laughing his ass off, like, because he saw me looking at the numbers and everything. And the fucking dipshit working the counter was like, oh, we don't do numbers here. It's like, do you not know how to read this fucking thing on the wall? Like, and he looked at me like,
Sorry,
I'm
man.
sorry.
They don't do numbers there. It's Belgian frites.
It was delicious, though.
You're holding soup.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, and he also told me order a small. If you're going to eat your own, like we're not sharing, order a small. Because
Yeah, they
it's
didn't bother
insane.
telling me that.
Oh, did you get a large? Did you eat it all?
Hell yeah, I got a large. Hell yeah. I remember going to the movie theater there.
Dude, you
with,
pooped yourself that night. If you eat that, that shit's huge. That's for like a table of people.
Oh yeah. We went to the movie theater one night to go see Kane's movie See No Evil. And at the movie theater, they do poutine instead of popcorn. They might do popcorn too. But I got a huge bucket of poutine. I was sitting there in the movie watching Kane murder people, snatching poutine in the movie theater. Poutine was like my shit because they don't do it down here like they do up there. Every time I would go up there, on my way out, I would hit up like KFC or Burger King.
There's
and
a
get a poutine.
pretty good place here on the east side where it's because I've had real poutine. Like, I've even been to Montreal before. Like, I've had, like, you know how they say, like, oh, you can have good Mexican food in, like, the north or whatever in America. It's like, I've been to Montreal. I've had good enough poutine in Ontario and BC and over here. Like, you can make it. It's not that hard. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that hard. But anyway.
People mess it up. They don't use cheese curds. They'll use like cheddar cheese or something.
They do have to use
So
cheese
stupid.
curds. Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember I was at a Denny's in Canada and I ordered poutine and it was fries, gravy, and shredded cheddar cheese.
In Canada?
And I was like, yeah, I was like, no.
Because even like McDonald's has poutine in Canada.
Yeah. I don't know how Denny fucked it up so bad. I was like, I'm not going to pay for
Denny.
this. Yeah, fuck you, Denny.
Anyway, what's this next
The Denny woman was pissed.
Oh, it's these people again.
Here's why I would rather he be dead. I think. Okay. Well. All right. I think it would be cool because I didn't think it was still a thing, but I think like if you can still cyberbully someone into suicide in 2024, that's like that's good for the culture.
Why is that girl laughing over Scott?
That's just the system.
It's good for the culture.
She likes. She's got a crush on him.
Oh, she's kind of cute.
Like, of course his life isn't irredeemable because he plagiarized AMVs. Who gives a shit? If you can bully someone about that and get them to kill themselves, then I don't know. Maybe they should have killed themselves. But like, if you're so fucking weak, Like
that you
at
kill
face
yourself
value,
over.
No, it should not be that big a deal that you plagiarized AMVs. But if people can bully you about it to the point.
What happened to him? Why is he on the like? Why do I get this like block screen here
where you take your own life?
This is
I
why
think they're going to ban Scott for what he's saying.
This is why you don't do your podcast on Discord, because if one thing happens on your screen, it like ruins everything else.
Yeah, I guess the bullies were right.
The bullies were right.
Ooh, Daily Double.
Oh, shit.
How much would you like to wait?
By the way, Scott was obsessed with Jeopardy. Did you know this?
No, I would not have that conversation with Scott.
Well, I mean, he forced it on me. He was a huge fan of Jeopardy, and he's been watching it for years. And he really hated the LeVar Burton Jeopardy. He was like, he's the worst host ever. I don't know why people wanted him to host it. He would.
I think people who didn't watch Jeopardy wanted LeVar Burton to host it.
Waiting for this Daily Double.
We'll do 500.
500. Coward. Yeah.
Technically, I would say there's 9. A lot of people want to say there's 8. So
oh my God, they're watching Trumpster Bob Jeopardy. Okay, this is very good.
I would say there's only 7. There's probably over 17 or 19.
Scott hated Trumpster Bob, and they were gonna fight. Like Trumpster Bob was like, "I'll kill that Canadian communist."
I'll go on record as saying there's 8.
That is unhinged. Besides what he's saying about what everyone else or conjecture, he for himself answered 7, 8, and 9 in that statement.
I'm gonna go with how many planets are in our solar system.
That's correct.
Wow. Good job.
He got it correct at the end.
Technically, I'd say there's 9, so he's pro-Pluto. A lot of people want to say there's 8, the anti-Pluto types. So I would say there's only 7.
Out of
so
spite.
who else are you knocking out?
Rand is just too small, man. Yeah, it doesn't pass the
something I've never heard before.
Of course, T-Bob makes you think outside the box.
We don't really count Uranus as a planet in our solar system because it's really rotating off kilter.
I want you to
Only
take
7.
the Uranus challenge. Oh, that shit's blown out.
We were walking around Times Square, and like this group of like 5 or 6 black guys, and it's important that I mention that they're black because like
Drake, it's always important that you mention that they're black.
They held out their hand and it was like, hey, thanks for not being scared to talk to a black guy. Shove a bunch of shit in our hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what I've got in my hand here. It's like, hey, it's free, it's free, it's free. Kind of looks like a CD. It's just a piece of paper with with QR codes on it. That's what she paid $3 for. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna listen to some of these tracks.
2015, we here. Yes.
Yeah, I hope we see the one green screen of like the car getting hit.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it is just blue.
Yeah.
There he is, like slinging his shit. Like, he's got like the stack of these fucking things.
Oh, yeah, I like that that we've moved on to not even CDs anymore.
Okay. Here's another one.
Scoot, I would love to see you in an inappropriate biopic about an autistic wrestler in the style of Music by Sia. I'm in. Sia, get at me. Let's do this. Let's make something worse than music.
I am autism. I'm visible in your children, but if I can help it, I am invisible to you until it's too late. I don't sleep, so I make sure you don't either. I will make sure that every day you wake up, you will cry. And the truth is, I am still winning.
Boy.
You are scared, and you should be. I am autism. You ignored me. That was a mistake.
That was pretty good. I am autism. You ignored me. That was a mistake. Yeah, the back scratch was one of his big spots where he like put the guy in the corner and then he just like scratched the shit. Oh shit, my camera died. I know what happened.
Cat scratch.
cat scratch fever.
That's his kitty cat scratching pad.
Yep.
Oh, dude. You can tell that.
Boom Wrestling is promotion in Vancouver. When I was up there last year, I saw him do a singles match up there. It was pretty cool.
Not as cool as I Sucks Dicks, but still good.
I Sucks Dicks.
So, for the very small slice of you who have seen me on the Drunken Peasants podcast, a frequent, it's a YouTube live video podcast that deals with what I believe in the community are known as lol cows, cows that you can lol at, basically.
I hope I never become a cow.
I hope not either.
Fucking prey.
Stay away from that AI shit because there's a lot of cows there.
I mean, I'd like to look at that again. I'll show you some.
Jesus.
You liked it. Don't be a coward.
I like some of them. And some of them are...
You don't like the cow vagina and anus I showed you last episode?
Those were a lot.
Sometimes you gotta look at them.
Sometimes you do.
They're there for looking, Scott.
So I've learned about a lot of Chris Chan type internet objects of derision. One of whom is Trumpster Bob, and an old man with like a balding white hair and a big white beard, who I guess came to prominence as a strong word because I don't know how much following he has outside of like the Drunken Peasants audience, but although when I say for an old guy, I think he's one of those guys who is younger than he looks, because he looks like well into his 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's in his 50s. I think he's
maybe
like
even
46 or something. He's lived hard and fast.
Yeah. He's way too young to look like that.
But even for his age, he seems to have grasped live streaming, so does a lot of that, and is very comfortable putting out his personal cell phone number so you can just call him from other podcasts, like we have done multiple times on Drunken Peasants.
Yep.
And he'll just like jump on the Skype or Discord or whatever. And
ridiculous.
He's not overly private, so good for him on that. And as you can guess by the name, he is, if I was to position him on the political spectrum, it would probably be on the right.
What other spectrum might he be on?
He's practically in outer space. Like he blew past the right and like left the Earth's atmosphere into like Never Land. Second star to the right and straight on till morning.
He's very much in conspiracy territory.
He's not autistic.
No.
He's
not smart enough to be autistic. Like
he's charming and delusional.
Is he charming? Do you think he's charming?
He is charming.
He is kind of an asshole though too. Like
No, he's an old drunk piece of shit that is charming and delusional.
And mean though. Like I don't know. Okay. Yeah.
He's half mean because half the time he's like being very sweet, and then other times he's like lashing out.
We'll get into what kind of lies he tells.
Yeah.
Because it's actually hard to discern motivations and where things are coming from, but it's always very interesting. So one of his big things is claiming to be like a decorated military
This
hero.
is so good. I watched
despite
this.
there being absolutely zero record of him ever having any military service.
Which comes out.
And every military story he talks about is like a Vin Diesel movie.
Yes. And I'm glad we Scott was fascinated enough by this that he made this content on his own show, which is a big deal.
One of the clips.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it's very fun. And his other big thing is like he's sort of a conspiracy theorist, but not any well-known conspiracies like the people who run the Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers chain are Muslim.
Sacred Muslims.
And most what else? Most Mexicans are Muslims in disguise.
Yep.
I think is one of them, and
you can tell a real Mexican if they can eat a jalapeno.
A jalapeno, yeah, they start sweating if they're real Muslims.
If they're not a real Mexican, they'll start sweating. Just feed them a jalapeno. One of the best things about Trumpster Bob is his ways to spot the fakes. He's like, yeah, if you want to make sure she's not a Muslim, we're going to have to look at her vagina and see if she's been clipped.
I might even have to put my mouth on it to figure it out for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just going to sexually assault a woman to prove she's not Muslim. How about this?
Dude.
Don't care either way. What the hell?
Did you hear his Gucci's story?
Who?
Trumpster Bob's Gucci's story.
I don't think so.
I feel like Scott would agree to divert slightly from his epic stream here that we're doing for him.
Probably not. He would say he would say go back to me. Go back to me.
You're right. But I want dude, here's T-Bob talking about Gucci's completely like making shit up.
Yeah, chicken Andy and goat.
And by the way, he calls her goat cheese.
Cheese. I used to joke around with those people like goat cheese. I used to always tell her, I said, goat cheese, you need to come stay with me for about 3 months. She said, what for? And I said, baby, I guarantee you we can make money having sex.
It's like, what?
I guarantee it. She said, really? How? And I said, oh, man, I'll set up the cameras just right. And it'd be like, I'll set up a part of my room. It looks like a fucking office. And I'll go in there and I'll start rubbing your neck.
By the way, he's like, I'll start rubbing things Joe did with Gucci's without fucking her.
Yeah, but also that didn't make Joe any money. What the hell?
No. He
How's
just
Bob
wanted to give her a
gonna monetize
massage.
it?
He's a professional masseuse.
Yeah. One thing leads to another. Well, you just got to please the boss. I mean, fuck. The next day I'll have you dressed up as a nurse. I might dress you up as a fucking cop. I mean, shit. Let me handcuff you, baby. I could think of all kinds of shit. But I used to fuck with her all the time like that. And she was like, I got to stay away from that fucking weirdo. It was funny.
Oh,
I just was pushing her.
I mean, like, that says a lot because Gucci's was around a lot of weirdos and she stayed around them. So if you're the kind of weirdo Gucci's is avoiding, that says a lot about you. I'm just saying.
There weren't many.
No.
I like how he had this entrepreneurial idea to make porn.
We can make lots of money having sex, baby.
Her because she is so free with her
He
sex.
says that would feel like a hostage situation. I'd send money to let her go.
You know? She got pregnant. She didn't know who got her pregnant. And then later on, she claims that she did, but she could never name
This might have been true.
the guy
I
that
don't
got
know.
her pregnant. And she never had a baby. She went and had an abortion. A lot of people
This
don't know
could
this about
very well be
Gucci.
true,
She
but I don't believe.
owns
I can't
four
believe
fucking houses.
I can't believe she had an abortion with Joe's baby.
Oh.
All of them are valued over $300,000. And she outright
Is he talking about
owns
selling
3 of
babies?
them, maybe all 4 of them. Bitch has got money. Why is she out there IRLing with all these fucking RV people as though she's poor? I never understood that.
She's got 15,000, 1,400 square foot mansions
But they were paying her. They owed her a lot
that are ordered by Saudi Arabia from Raising Cane's Chicken.
of money, from my understanding, too. She's one of them people that will go and do things, whatever you want, for money. You know, she's the kind of girl that you could pay $2,400 to, she'd probably go to your state just to have sex with you.
All right. Yeah. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Look like
I don't think Gucci's was getting paid for any of it.
No, she was living on the RV and like, she want to hook up with dude. She hooked up with dude.
Prank calls, to 911 and the FBI, but I don't think he sees them as prank calls. So yeah, he'll call in his like Democrat congressman like to the FBI saying they're a communist or a Muslim or gay or whatever. They're all basically the same. There's a strong theory that he is like latently homosexual, and because like he's outwardly homophobic, which is always like red flag number one for actually being gay and hating yourself.
Yep.
But he takes it a step further and says people should take what he has dubbed the butthole challenge.
Oh my God. It's so funny to hear Scott describe this to someone who is not aware of it. I love it.
Which is basically...
Is it butt chugging?
No, it's basically showing him your asshole.
Drew's like filling in the blanks. You mean butt chugging? No, not that. He wants to look at your gaping anus and judge it.
He will deem how loose it is, and as a result, how much anal sex you've had and how gay you are.
Okay, so you did it, and he said that you were a 0, and not even like a pen.
He doesn't even understand how poo could come out.
Yep, sounds right.
Yeah.
That looks like a little pinhole might fit in there.
I will.
It's like a Play-Doh fun factory on the smallest setting.
Happily take it though. I have one of the tightest butts I know of. So I would.
Yeah, Scott's farts were like a dog whistle. Like if he farted, only a dog. Like my dogs would freak out, and I'd be like, "What happened?"
Speaking of Scott and dog whistles, let's get this goal up to 1488.
Oh my God! You know what? He so badly wanted to be on episode 1488. We're gonna have to watch some Scott videos just to have him on 1488.
To be honest, Ben, we're going to have to do episode 1488 and be white nationalist racist for Scott.
He would,
because that's what he would have done.
Love that.
Episode 1488.
Oh
I'm just going to go out and I'm going to drop the bomb for Scott.
Oh my God.
Pass it with flying.
How many other butts do you know?
As a non-penetrative bottom, that thing is pristine. The plastic wrapping has not been taken off yet.
Good. Perfect.
If you're a
pedophile,
if you're a pedophile woman,
would love
come
your
get
butthole.
this sweet pristine boy ass.
Yeah.
So that's Trumpster Bob. Just type it into YouTube, you'll get lots of stuff. So we were sent by Leo Larkin a Trumpster Bob playlist of several videos entitled Trumpster Bob War Stories, which I'm sure if you search on YouTube, it will come right up. So we were given a series of quick videos to watch, and Leo wanted us to play a game, basically. Where he gave questions to answer related to it. What movie or TV show is he stealing from, or did he make it up? And then the very interesting question, which I don't know if I really landed on an answer, is he compulsive or pathological? I.e., does he believe the shit he is saying? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then also, I guess...
I don't, and I'm going to answer my opinion on this. I don't. I think he knows he's lying, and he told us he was like 6'3" or something like that, and he's like 5'5" or something.
I think 5'6", 5'5", yeah. It's great. His real name is Bobby Lee Jones. Like, usually, like, you'd be Robert Lee. Black. Yeah, usually it'd be like Robert Lee or something, but his real name is Bobby Lee. Trumpster Bob, Bobby Lee. Yeah, my name's Bob, short for Bobby. Isn't Bobby short for Robert?
You know, the only other instance of that I can think of is like the guy who's the singer from Green Day. His name is Billy Joe Armstrong, and it's not like William Joseph. Like his name is like Billy Joe, which does sound very like Alabama kind of shit.
On Drunken Peasants, I said at some point that I would kick his ass, and then I guess word got back to him that I said that, and now he actually wants to do it, even though
if Bob makes a fucking shitty video, I'm just going to ignore it.
No, we gotta play it. We gotta play. I don't think he will.
Would
I don't think.
Scott
Oh hell
want us
yeah,
to
we
play
gotta
it?
play it. Oh hell yeah, we gotta play it. If Trumpster Bob comes for Dead Scott, we're playing it.
Yeah, I see people in the chat saying ignoring is best. Like I would, because I don't.
They said probably best. We play it and we dump on Trumpster Bob. I don't think he would do that, but if he did,
I think he would do it. I think he would do it. I think he is
He
like.
better not. He better not.
I don't believe he has ever left the.
Dude, he said you faked your heart issue that you had.
Yeah, he's gonna say Scott faked his own death, and honestly, Trumpster Bob, if you
he
were right,
does
he'd come
below
back.
the belt bullshit like that. So yes, I think he will. I think he mocked you when you had your like near death experience. He's gonna mock our dead friend. Like yes,
If Scott did fake his death, it was just so he could get away with killing Trumpster Bob. I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
I don't know
if he did.
I don't know
That's
if
the only reason.
I don't know if he'll say he faked it, but he'll mock it in some degree.
Yeah, don't you dare, Bob. I want you to give a fucking heartfelt eulogy for Scott Henson. Big cat, Trumpster Bob.
10-mile
Actually,
radius.
I want you to give us a big cat butthole challenge in honor of Scott, Trumpster Bob.
He was born in like semi-rural Texas, but he thinks he can make it up to Washington or something for some sort of organized fight. Also, it's hard to tell from his live streams, but easier to tell from his mugshot that he's 5'5". His what's the deal? His like birth name, like it's not Robert. It's either Bob or Bobby.
There you go.
Is like his
Bobby Lee.
Real
birth
legal
certificate
government
knows all
name,
the
which I
points
love.
that are important.
Like Ahmad Rashad.
Bobby
Like
Lee.
a Rashad. And so the question number 3 was: does Drew think he could take you in a fight? LOL. Does this 5'5" twig man drunk really think he can take you? LOL. Yeah, and he's constantly drunk.
He seems drunk.
Yeah, no, he's definitely drunk. He's a cornerstone of. I think he's moved a couple times, but a cornerstone of the initial Bob videos we watched was he's in his bedroom covered with flags. Most are like vertical, and some are pointing one way, some are pointing the other way. So by pure logic, because there's only 2 ways it can point, one of them is wrong.
Yeah.
One of them is the vertical version of upside down, which we would always give him shit about. Also the way he debates is actually kind of fun, and I respect it.
Round.
And it's actually a little bit Trumpian. So I'd say he gave himself a good moniker. His way of debating is no. Like, hey Bob, you got flags pointing both ways, so one of those is like wrong and sacrilegious or whatever like shit you would say. No, it's not.
No,
they're not like.
That's the way you gotta do it.
They're not pointing different ways. I'm like, yeah, that one's like the star corner is at the top, and that one, the star corner, is at the bottom. So like one of those is upside down. No.
How else are you gonna win that fight?
I was gonna say, and like, where do you go from that? Like
You're
wins.
done. Your argument's over.
Yeah.
It is very Trump-like.
He's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just denying facts that are right there. So like, it's kind of impossible to argue with him.
Do you know what? No, it's good. Not. I mean, it is Trump related, but oh god, it was
It is weird, like introducing Drew to all this shit. Like Drew is still. I feel like when I introduced Drew to the DP bullshit, I feel like it's those people that meet those uncontacted tribes in the Amazon, and they're like, "You ever heard about Jesus?" You know what I mean? Like yeah.
Drew was one of those guys that he would show up to wrestling like after playing hockey. You know, he very much had like a real life and wrestling. Like he would do both things. Most of the other guys were just like fucking super wrestling.
Yeah, I
nerds,
noticed
you know?
Drew's like
Drew's
a big. I didn't know he played. Maybe he told me, but like he's a big sports fan and stuff like that.
Yeah. So he probably has. He hears this shit and he's just like, oh yeah, you know, this is fucking whatever.
The line, 50, 60 foot free fall.
Didn't break his leg.
Totally
Perfect
fine.
line.
Went in, killed a couple of guys.
Had to shoot a guy right between the eyes with an arrow.
That was one of them. There was the bow and arrow story,
which he kept saying, "I didn't want to kill the guy, but I had."
So I skipped ahead. They're talking about like, because this is like 30 minutes long. They go through like his stories where Trumpster Bob is like commando, basically, where he's like a one-man army taking out like a whole building of soldiers and shit on his own, and they're
had to because he saw me.
Yeah,
but he didn't. But he said
V-Drift.
I didn't want to kill him.
Says, does his merch still support Scott, or does it only support the seller of it? I am sure whatever cut Scott was getting will go to Scott's family or whoever's
I do
want to
say we don't know about a funeral or a memorial or anything like that at this point. I'm sure that. And I don't know, maybe his family wants it to be like a private thing, and maybe they want to like pick and choose who will be there. Like we'll figure it out. If there's a place to donate money, it'll happen. It'll be out there. It doesn't exist at this point. So
I think he sells merch on Pro Wrestling Tees. Do they drop ship from Pro Wrestling Tees? Or does he have to ship it? Because if he has to ship it, you might not get the shirt.
I don't know anything about that. I would say at this point, like, you know, under the circumstances, if there's a place where people are accepting money for his memorial or funeral or whatever, I would say look at Adam's Twitter, look at his channel. He's in contact with Scott's family directly. So just keep an eye on that, and if there's something, it'll be there. But I don't know if there will be. I don't know if they need it or want it.
I think people are just wondering about buying merch. Yeah, people who want to get Scott merch.
I don't know. I would think Scott's merch went to him, and he's not there to accept that. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, like if you're sending money,
it would go to his family. If it was a drop ship situation, I don't know how Pro Wrestling Tees works.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they're a drop ship, but I don't know. It is print on demand. Yeah, you should be able to get Scott merch from Pro Wrestling Tees, and the money will definitely whatever cuts there will either sit in a bank account
I will
forever.
Say this. Yeah, that's crazy. I will say those guys at the end of the night in SOS Wrestling, they had the longest line for people selling merch. Like even like the champions, like Steve Miggs and like the other Rebel Kel and all them. Their tag team had like the longest merch line. They were the most over baby faces in that entire company.
Scott's always been over. Scott was over before he started wrestling.
Did he ever wrestle
he was
heel?
Just that guy, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not as often because everybody liked him, but he would run the heel. He'd run the heel gimmick. Drew and those guys, they all just are the Canadians. When they would come down to Washington State, they were here with business in mind.
They're too polite.
Like these guys started doing backyard wrestling back in the 90s. You know, they're 20-year veterans, and they came out of nowhere into a wrestling scene that was just starting to pick up in Seattle. They came in with like 15 years experience. All this Japanese wrestling shit they just learned to perfect, and they were students of wrestling, and they were serious just wrestling fans. They were so good at what they did, and they had so much fun. And they had this group of talented guys up in Vancouver that would just sit in a gym week after week after week, putting on 5-star matches for nobody. So they come down to a crowd, and they just blow the crowd up. They've had so much experience.
I'm going to share Drew's Twitter in the chat if you guys want to follow him and just send your support. Like, it's crazy to lose your best friend. You know what I mean? Like, they are insanely tight. So
yeah, they were like a gay couple that didn't do gay stuff.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Yep.
They were wrestling partners. They were tag
So
team
click
champions,
on that
you know?
and go follow him. And I actually have him scheduled here on the show coming up. If he's still feeling up to it and everything. So go follow him and send your best to him because it's rough. Let's watch some more.
There's
funny
so many moments those guys had together. And
oh, dude, this is the
these sexy
you guys wanna
boys.
stand up so we can get the camera focused on you.
Yeah.
Dude, shirts off, Adam. He did this to you before this. He fucking made you bleed. It was crazy.
And it was such a beautiful shirt, too.
Adam is going to take... I'll tell you what, Adam, he can make himself vomit on cue, and he feels no pain. I remember, we had the shock collar on him, and I was zapping him, and he's just looking at me like, you got more?
Stand up!
Yeah.
Stand
he saw
up.
me getting hit and was like, I could do better than that. I was like, of course you can.
Is this the best angle we
Can
can
I?
get?
Can I?
Should we move
back
this?
out?
Let's move it back.
I can zoom out. We got Voosh at. I can
At the
zoom
bottom.
out.
Zoom out for the kids.
All right.
Gotta get paid.
Here,
We should have chopped Vosh.
Gotta get paid.
All right, here we go.
Okay, this is how you do sex.
This is how you do sex?
This is how you do sex, man.
I can hear him.
That's how you do sex.
Porto angle. I love how Hannibal and Monty are like, white people are crazy. They walked away from this as like, they did.
They went in the other room. Like, we're leaving. We're gonna go eat chowder.
Yeah. Oh
Just
no.
2 white people.
Should I get all the way out or what? Like, where are we at?
This is zoomed all the way out now.
If you need me to move, I'll move.
I am fucking trashed. I probably don't even remember this shit. I don't.
Hell yeah. Hey, DJ. Bring that back.
You guys gotta do the mic thing like this. Just pull it up. It doesn't go too far up.
Oh my god. It was brutal though. He did hit him hard.
Billy took some slaps to the
Yeah.
chest, and I said, "He looks like a little bitch."
He did. Yes. I remember because Scott cut you up hard way, like a little bit on the chest, and you were bleeding. So Scott was like, all right, I'll hit Adam. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Adam's like, Billy looked like a little bitch. I'm sorry, Adam. I was selling the chops.
Here we go.
Billy tried to run away from it, so I'm just.
Wait, hold.
Yep.
Wait, I
That-
recognize
If it doesn't look like it hurts, the audience doesn't feel it as much, Adam. Jeez, Adam, you're breaking kayfabe.
I can't believe I only hear it
Hannibal,
now through the
watch
fucking
this
thing,
shit.
not in
Watch
person. It
this
sounds
shit.
different. Oh my god.
Yeah, look at Vosh freaking out like, oh, he's about to actually hit them. Here we go.
Love your work.
I don't want to hear anything about a tax folder, okay, guys?
I talked to you with the fucking Gardic phone thing. I can't.
Slap
okay,
him.
sorry, I'm a fucking idiot.
Do it. Stop being afraid.
Here we go. Do not stop my heart. That is.
Do not. Yeah, that's the only request.
Do not use the full extent of your Krav Maga training.
Look at yeah.
Back up a bit. Let's get a little wider.
Yep. There we go. There we go. Oh my God, he's gonna cut him up.
Chin up, chest out.
Okay.
I still have no idea what's going to happen.
Oh my
Holy
God.
shit.
Oh.
That's a lot.
Yeah. He hits hard. He hits very fucking hard. Look at Adam. Adam looked like he almost enjoyed it a little bit. He was like, ooh. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
This sucks.
This sucks. Oh my god. Oh, it's hard to watch again. I have not watched this again since it happened.
I haven't watched this because I left the room.
Here.
Yeah, I don't even know where. Vosh and Monty. Oh my god, that's such an odd couple.
Vonti.
Vosh is kind of like oddly fixated on this shit. Ooh.
I can't
that's so
feel the
bad,
fucking air
dude.
pressure.
Oh my god, it's hot. Yeah.
Someone count for this.
Yeah, hold on. 2? We're counting 3.
That was
all
3.
right, all right.
It was a 1, actually.
All right, so this
Four,
is 4.
4.
This is
Redo.
4. I'll count it. Here, this is 4. 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, it's turning blue.
Yes, so bad. Look at him, he's bleeding, dude. He's fucking bleeding. He split him.
And that's why I'm better than Billy.
Oh, dude, he's still talking shit.
my God.
Oh my god. Maybe you guys should have a wrestling match.
I honestly, Adam saying better than Billy. You didn't show any pain.
You and him.
Made those chops look weak.
You and him just need to meet in the ring. What can I say?
I made Scott's chops look like he was chopping down a mountain. You made them you're bleeding, and you made it look like he was tickling you. Oh, I was too, but the reason I was acting, or the reason why I was reacting the way I was reacting, that's how you sell a fucking chop.
It's true. It's true. But it did.
Adam was over here like, oh, I did it better. No, man, you no-sold it.
So, that's Adam's thing. He's like, I can no-sell, like, pain.
Yeah. He's over here like
Adam.
BDSM, and I'm over here like trying to make everybody think Scott's a monster. Scott might be a monster. I'll tell you this. I think that nobody was allowed to talk about Scott's passing for the last 24 hours because we wanted to make sure nobody knew he died before we could delete his porn folder.
Oh, my God.
I'm pretty sure Scott is a secret sicko.
Here, is that what it looks like? For the audience, front and center on the camera, after you've got your selfies.
I'm gonna go get some Epsom salt.
Jesus.
Sure could.
I'm just saying.
Well done. I'm just
Well
worried about
done. That was Joe. Well done.
Scott's hand.
Yeah.
Well done.
Scott,
Scott's hand was hurting after that. Even Adam said this sucks. It's like, of course it sucks.
They knew it was like on video. I think we had like 900 live viewers or something like that for this shit.
Yeah.
So it was like it was on to like perform, you know.
Hey, look who came.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, he's so fucked up. I hate it.
Is he putting shut up. He's putting pain cream on.
What is pain cream? What is pain cream?
He said he took it better than me, then he puts fucking Ben Gay on it.
Well, I mean, everyone wants
Adam.
to put my gay on it.
I didn't leave there and put any gay on my chest. The only gay I had on my chest was Scott Slaps.
The only real bed gay is if I jerk off in your hand and then you rub it in.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Well, no.
No,
he was
fine.
like, because Scott cut up Billy really bad. Like, Billy was bleeding and felt, like, abused.
So by cut up, we mean smack really
By
hard.
Scott,
The
like,
first
Scott,
time-
like, chopped him.
The smackies.
Yeah,
The first time I met Scott, it was after ECW One Night Stand, and afterwards we all went into the hot tub. I think it was Alan Creasy's house.
The Scott tub. I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
we went to the Scott tub.
Tell the story.
And we were all chilling in the hot tub. I think we filmed the promo video in the hot tub. And then afterwards, the guys got together and they all four of them just chopped the shit out of my chest. And Yakuza J. There was Big Al, Daniel Makabe, Scott Henson, and Yakuza J, if my memory serves me correct. And this was 19 years ago to the week. They all chopped the shit out of me, and then Yakuza J came up and gave me the most chest-caving thudder A thudder is when you don't hit with the flat part of your hand, where you just like they throw a tire iron at your chest. Boy, that was a good one. My chest was busted up from those boys, and it was all in good fun. It was all in good fun. We had a good time. Hot tub smackins. Oh man. When you lose somebody like this, like I don't know how you guys feel afterwards. I get like a stress headache from dealing with the stress of like the finality of it all. I got this tension headache. Last time when my dad passed away, I had it really bad and I went blind for a while. I was getting light blindness. I'd be in like the supermarket and the lights would be so bright and I had such a high tension headache. I was just going blind. EC dub. Yeah, that was the first ECW one night stand too. That was the good one. First time I drove up to Vancouver to hang out with the boys and then came back up for a big super show and then had I would get van loads of people from the airport who would fly into Seattle to go up to Vancouver. We'd have these big stupid wrestling shows. It'd just be like a sleepover but with wrestling. It was so fun. It was so good.
So Adam was like, I can do that.
Well,
like
Billy ran away from it.
Yep.
So I was like, gotta.
Dude, you are that is nasty looking. Like
Savage. Wow. That was savage. It's a good episode 1000.
yes, I agree. Thank you. It's crazy that Adam, Adam had nothing to gain. He's a 1 million plus subscriber YouTuber, and he came here just to get chopped the fuck up, to show up Billy.
Yeah, it's like okay, Stone Cold Steve Autism, you can no sell some chops. I could have no sold him too. I was putting on a show, Adam.
You took that shit like a boss, dude.
You think I ever have any feelings ever? I'm always only manipulating people with emotions.
Fuck. Wait, let me see.
It was long like 10 years
Fuck,
ago.
dude.
Now I got
All right.
AEW cut like my avatar and don't know how to
I
make
came
it
to
look
fuck
good as
around.
it goes long.
I came to fuck around. Oh my god, that was
Get up and get down. I jump around.
Here's some more.
Now, as I was asking, Sal, are you ever hanging out at the New York Stock Exchange, smoking a ciggy poo, drinking a coffee, and then your friend comes to meet you there to hang out and perhaps smoke a second ciggy poo and drink a second coffee, maybe move to an espresso, who's to say? But they go to like
that, you know what? That was Scott's drug of choice, coffee. Scott loved coffee so much. He was like obsessed. I went to a coffee place in a church that I would have never have went to, but they were like, dude, this place has really good coffee. And it was a fucking church that served coffee. I don't know if you knew that. Like if you
Scott's real addiction was referring to cigarettes as ciggy poo.
Yeah.
wrong end of the New York Stock Exchange, so they have to like call out across the whole floor to get your attention, and they're like, Sal,
what the fuck?
Sal, and it crashes the economy. Does that ever happen? Has this happened to you? Call us now.
Way.
You may be entitled to a huge legal settlement. Yeah, it was a long way. And also, Sal said yes, so it was a legitimate question. Adam.
Long way down.
I don't think
want
you
to
make
listen
it
to
on my
Scoop
own. That's a Goo Goo Dolls song. God, Adam's music lore runs so deep.
Doggy
Have you
died
seen
and then it lost me
Spider-Verse
to life.
yet?
I've seen Spider-Verse. It was much better than the first
There's
one.
Adam
I would say
no-selling
it's-
Scott's joke, just like he no-sold Scott's chops.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. 'Cause I thought the first one was okay, so if the second one's much better, I'm good with that.
It's much better, yeah.
Would you give it a 12?
It's classified. Actually, it's not. It's public on my IMDb.
I was gonna say,
I give it a high 7.
Your first secret rating?
A high 7.
Never tell.
So a closer to an 8 than a 6.
So
it's such an interesting setup in Adam's room. Like, there's the, like, if you're a guest, you sit on the other side of his, like, it's basically his bedroom, I think, like, where he films this shit. And,
yeah.
Like, all the other people have, like, a monitor that they crowd around. And, like, me and Scott, Adam was doing, like, an all-day stream. Like, he was doing, like, a 12-hour stream the last time I was there. And me and Scott sat there for maybe, like, 8 of it. And then we left and went out on the town and hung out with some of their other friends and shit. But yeah, it's cool. It's an interesting experience to be on one of Adam's streams. It's a totally different vibe from what I'm used to, and I've been streaming for a decade now. So
if we were to decimalize it, we're talking 7374. What? If we were to decimalize your rating, it would be a 7.3 or a 7.4.
He's trying to play the game, though. Like, you got to give him, like, he's trying to, like, jump this crazy shit.
No. It'd be like at least over a 7.5 if it were closer to an 8.
Then you would give it an 8 if it wasn't a decimal.
What?
If you gave something a 7.8, but you only do whole numbers, then you would give it an 8. You don't have to cross the 8 threshold to be an 8. 7.5 and up is an 8.
I gave it a high 7, meaning...
Yes, a high 7 would be a 7.3 or 7.4. Otherwise, it's a low 8.
I'm not sure if
Well, you should, because it's the correct math. If you were to assign decimals and you gave something a 7.9, but you don't do decimals, then that would be an 8. 7.5 and up would be an 8. 7 is 6.5 to 7.5.
So are you saying that a 7.8 is a low 8?
Yes.
Okay,
Because what you're saying is the lowest 8 is an 8.0, and that's wrong.
Okay, well, I think we're talking about different things. I don't know if that applies to what I'm doing.
I don't know why it...
I don't think anybody watching my channel other than you assumes that when I say...
Has this kind of autism?
A low number that I actually mean a high decimal of the number underneath the number that I said.
This kind of autism?
I don't know if I'm...
Basically what you're saying is that 7 is 7.0 to 7.9. And I'm saying that's incorrect. It's 6.5 to 7.5.
Yeah.
If decimals
Scott and Adam have different types of autism that balances each other out.
Even going to like properly put space in my mind for that. I'm really. I can't.
Adam no selling Scott, it makes it so much funnier.
Do this right now.
I feel like you tell me that a lot.
Remind me to think about this another day when I have the energy to. Properly address this.
When I have the energy for your bullshit, Scott.
Think about numbers. I'm aware that nobody thinks about this but me, but I do, and I'm correct.
I do, and I'm correct.
Yeah, I'm pissed off. Because I never...
Oh, did I
It's not like... Well, what you're saying operates under the principle that, like, decimals don't exist, basically.
People are asking what type of autism I have. I have Prader Billy syndrome.
Operates under the principle that decimals don't exist.
Just because I don't say the decimal doesn't mean the decimals don't exist, though.
Okay, so if they do exist, then what I'm
Joey
saying is
in the
accurate.
chat.
Okay. What? So if I were to say...
Either way, what I'm saying is accurate.
So you're saying a high 7 is less than 7.5?
Yes, because if it's higher than 7.5, it's a low 8. Because that's how rounding decimals works.
I don't like this. This is mean.
This is mean.
Joe's in the chat agreeing with Scott.
Honestly, not trying to be mean. It was just a thing I was saying, and I didn't expect it to be, like, questioned or disagreed with.
So, essentially, I should not be saying high or low at all, and I should just continue saying...
You can absolutely say high or low.
7 out of 10, it's closer to an 8 than a 6. What would that imply
Sure.
if I don't say the words high 7?
They mean the same thing.
A 7 out of 10 closer to an 8 than a 6 means between 7 and 7.4?
Yes.
But not 7.5 through 7.9.
That would be rounded to 8. You're just thinking about it in terms of each
don't
number
know if-
rating is just 0.0 to 0.9 of them.
By the way, I want to point this out. When we did our 10th anniversary episode, Scott's favorite part of that entire episode was Riley and mint salad, and Riley's like weird character. He's like, shut up. And he's like all weird and like aggressive and shit. He told me personally that was his favorite part of it.
Yeah, Scott loves human trafficking.
Yeah.
That number without rounding.
I don't know if
you're just not thinking about rounding.
I'm not thinking about rounding.
Yeah.
So when I think of like a number in my rating system, if I'm like, I'm gonna give this an 8. If I give it an 8, I want the lowest threshold of that to be 8.0. If I'm giving something an 8, that means at minimum it's 8.0. I don't want to say something's an 8 when I actually mean 7.5. Because if it's a 7.5, I think it still belongs in the block. If you could imagine every number as like a separate block, where it's like 1, 2,
That's what I was saying.
3,
You're thinking
4.
about it in terms of like you're thinking about it in terms of 7s are 7.0 to 7.9.
Yeah, I would say that is the category of 7s for my rating system. For something to be an 8, in my mind, it's at least an 8.0. And
I've never had this kind of conversation with anyone. It's interesting to see them do this.
No higher than an 8.9.
Right.
So wait. But you're saying just use the Fantano numbers like light 8 or
The Fantano numbers.
strong 8. What does that mean? Does that not mean exactly what Scoot's saying?
It means the exact same thing. Any way you phrase it.
So
means
like,
the same
yeah.
thing.
So what Scoot is saying is that even Anthony Fantano saying a strong 8 doesn't mean 8.9. It means 8.4. But only if you're recognizing decimals of tenths. Wouldn't that be 8.4999 repeated forever?
Yes. That's the highest 8.
So then like that, I just find that silly to recognize those decimals when like no one. Yeah, I'm not recognizing decimals. Can we just say that and then that clears everything up?
Sure.
Because I don't think I ever was, and I think that might be why I've avoided decimals, right? I don't think I've ever said anything in my reviews.
I probably shouldn't have said that initial 7.3 or 7.4. I'm
just
greatly
like-
regretting it.
You were causing me to question a lot of things.
I didn't mean to. That was not my intention. I was just saying
love
an
this
off-the-cuff
conversation.
thing. When you said something was closer to an 8 than a 6, I'm like, oh, like a 7.3, 7.4? And,
Well, I know,
and
I know.
I expected you to say yes. And
By the way,
and move
there's
on.
never been a perfect 10 one bite pizza review. Just want to say that.
Yeah.
The 3 other major players that I would
Because
consider,
what happens
like,
if he has a perfect 10 pizza? Like, is he just
Dude, that place
done
would
eating
make
pizza
a
at that
fucking
point?
fortune. After like all the years
What's his highest
of...
rating? Like 8.6 or something?
No, it's over a 9. It's over a 9.
Ah.
It's like a 9.7 or 9.8 actually.
Okay.
He gave a pizza place in Toledo like an 8.9, which is pretty crazy.
overall, like moral.
He gave Costco pizza like a 2.3, I think.
It's trash.
Good people were, you had Jim Gordon, who's black in this. You had Catwoman, who's not white in this, and then you had the mayor, who's a black woman. Again,
True.
Very much on the nose for current day Hollywood.
True.
Did not
What race is the hero star of the movie?
Aryan.
What?
like that. Took a little bit off the score for me, to be honest. Overall,
Took a little bit off the score for me.
Why does
Who
Who gives a shit?
-1 for every black, so I'm giving it a 7.5
That's so
out
funny.
of 10.
By the way, I agree with Joe. New Haven, Connecticut, best pizza in America. A Beats, they call it. Yeah,
pizza?
A Beats. It is delicious.
my experience with it is an 8 out of 10. I think this is an 8 out of 10 movie. I think it's a
There's a few places in Seattle where they fake the sign. They do Mary's a Beats, but they do it. It's Mario.
Mario's?
Yeah. Yeah, they do like a parody of that same sign.
Love the movie.
Yeah.
Love it.
But
Which,
the movie,
when you
could
go
I
there
keep-
and you get a regular pizza, it's like, dude, we're gonna have to fight. This is not a pizza.
They do like in the Northeast they do like a clam pie. It's unbelievable, and they do a tomato pie with no cheese on top, which is also really good.
people were mostly
Anyway.
good people when in real life they're not. I found
If
that
anyone
unrealistic.
wants to go ahead and clip that, that's you feel
clip
free.
it.
Clip that.
Clip it.
Clip that.
Let's go into this
But
one.
if, like, the governor said you can't have kids at the convention, why wouldn't you just say, okay, it's too bad?
We watch this Fox News furry interview.
Move on. Why are you...
If the governor says you can't have kids at church, why would you just not say, like, oh, it's too bad, move on? If the government, why do you want kids at church so bad?
Yeah.
When statistically they're more likely to get raped at a Catholic fucking church. True.
Very high, almost
100% per capita, even. Like
I went to Catholic
Jesse?
schools K through 12, and I was very fortunate. You know, my parents
Joe
really.
Biden...
Well, you were an ugly kid.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's different. When a kid gets raped at a church, they're getting raped by an upstanding member of the community. When it
Doesn't
happens at
matter
a
if I'm
furry convention,
ugly.
it's by
Thank
somebody
you,
in an
Billy.
outfit. It's by a mascot.
Convention. Okay. I hate to give W's to Fox News.
There's me. I was not an ugly kid. I was a cute kid that all of you would love to molest. Don't lie.
Anchors.
By the way, I was prime priest bait.
Okay.
Look,
Ben, I would
Scott.
like to issue an emergency apology. You are a fuckable kid.
Yeah, Ben
I'm
needed
so
to interrupt
sorry.
you by saying how fuckable he was as a kid.
There
Like,
you
that was
go.
a very important interruption.
I don't know.
Don't
I don't know,
insult
Ben.
me.
I'm not saying whether or not you were fuckable, but the Yankees suit is a turnoff.
Well, okay.
Scott, don't you think that I
It
was
has
a fuckable
nothing to
child?
do with the Yankees either. It's that so many Yankees have herpes. Jeter, Rodriguez. Whenever I see someone in a Yankees uniform, I think herpes.
Scott?
I knew he. I was born with herpes. I knew he would
Look,
think I was.
Fuck, see, that
it
was-
would have been rude for
That's
Ben to
why
do
the
that if
priest
he
didn't
wasn't
get you. They
so
knew you had a hot button.
If he
What
was
do you
even
think,
a
Scott?
Old Ben
if
laughed
he was
at that
even
joke.
a debatably hot kid, then
There
yeah, like
you
don't
go.
interrupt me. But you know what? I was wrong. You should have gotten me. I very much apologize.
When this is visible, you can automatically use a medical kit on the injured squad member by approaching him and pressing the E button. Alternately. Huh.
You okay?
No, yeah, that's fine. Usually I would alternatively is what I would say, but
It's not
it
a
doesn't
word.
really matter. Alternatively is
Correct.
not a word?
Is not. It's alternately. That's why they said it.
Alternatively is never a word?
Not today, not ever.
I-
Maybe sometimes.
Okay, maybe some.
Not ever.
Yeah, it's a word. Stop
Hence-
doing this to me.
Hence the sometimes.
Yeah, wait.
What part of sometimes?
You weren't gonna say that unless I
through-
kept asking. You were
That's
you were
not-
never gonna get
That's
there
not
unless
true.
I.
Adam, you're acting crazy right now.
You're gaslighting me all the time.
You're being absolutely nuts right now.
Okay. All right.
Is he looking it up whether it's a word? Was that it? Oh, okay.
That was it. That was it. Just waiting for the finish.
I'm gonna. Okay.
10.
So,
Backyard Fest. 10.
our buddy Ricky Shane Page, who's been on DP a couple times, a big pro wrestler these days, posted this. I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna mute the music because it's copyrighted music. But this is a cool thing that they did. It was like a backyard event. I didn't see you in
Yeah,
it. I looked for
Backyard
you in
Fest.
it.
Yeah, I wasn't at 10. I think I was at, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 9 or something. Wait, I was here.
Were you?
I was at BYF 10. Yeah,
Maybe
I
you will
walked
come
under the
out.
post.
Maybe I missed you. I don't know.
Yeah, this was
Scott.
I painted those fucking socks.
Are you cut out of the video? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, they probably cut me out. Dude, Ricky came off that U-Haul into a table, and a fucking piece of the table. There I am, powerbomb. Powerbomb! A piece of the table went through his fucking pant leg, and if he would have been like an inch over, it would have pierced his fucking leg. Powerbomb! Oh. There, I'm in the back there in the audience, too. Ooh, them boys. Yeah, this was Ricky versus Scott in the main event. Them boys. Anarchy Andy.
Some horse stables in the background.
I actually performed my first live rap performance there in that lodge.
Really?
For everybody. Yeah, it was a little private party we were doing. And then I went on later to perform my first live show in Seattle. And Daniel Makabe was my hype man. And Yakuza J was the DJ on stage with me. They wore luchador masks or Japanese wrestling masks. There I am on the ledge there, too. Is that Chris Mason? Yeah. Chris Mason used to do the biggest fucking flips onto me. That was the table where almost fucking Ricky was so close to getting impaled. This was in just outside of This was in Massachusetts, just outside of Rhode Island in Massachusetts. Oh fuck! Yep, this guy. Maybe that was where he almost got impaled. One of those was so close. The giant dick and balls with paper mache. Yeah, man. Steve Shilson out there. Talked to him last night. Talked to him a little today, too. I think that I just got fucking splashed there. That's a fucking pool table? Youch.
Ooh. Damn.
Yeah, them boys were going all out. I think a lot of us knew this was going to be our last hurrah for the older babies. And some of these guys kept going, but we were just, this is probably going to be the last time we were all going to be together like this. So we were just trying to pop each other.
Oh my God, dude.
The backyard event, Backyard Fest 10. Drew Cordero put it on. Talked to him earlier today. All our old buddies.
YMS
and that Kelly back there.
Yeah. YMS and Scoot discuss Uvalde school shooting.
Unmuted?
Yeah.
If you polled the average person, not even polled, if you like put them in that environment to save children, you'd get a higher percentage than the amount of cops.
Than
like,
the police.
Yeah, because that was like one cop tried to and they took away his badge, like out of how many?
Yeah, and the average citizen doesn't have access to, I don't know, tanks, hollow points.
Yeah.
Advanced body armor.
Like, what the fuck were they doing?
Being scared of a child.
And now they're demolishing the school.
Yeah.
So.
With the kids in it, which I think is harsh, but I don't know. I guess they voted on it. Democracy in action.
It's like, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah, I guess the police were busy arresting parents outside.
Yeah, that entire department should be gone.
Yeah.
Like, there's not.
Yeah, you just roll it over.
You
just
can't
like
save
new police, please. Why would they arrest the parent? A couple parents were like trying to get in, I guess, to stop the active shooter in the school with their children, and the police arrested them. And yeah, that is why cops, by the same token, also get shooty so easily, is because they're scared.
Yeah. Maybe don't over-militarize a bunch of pussies.
Yeah, it's kind of the worst of both worlds. You get a bunch of
But if they
unarmed
weren't pussies,
minorities
they'd get
getting
better
murdered,
jobs.
and then the one time you need to stop a school shooting, they're scared. Thanks, the police. Like, why
Thanks,
become
the
a cop
police.
if you're a pussy? I don't know. Ask every cop. Got him.
Because they don't expect to be
Got
president
him.
in their scenarios. They expect
Yeah.
to just be giving people traffic tickets
and just
collecting
bullying
drugs,
people.
collecting drugs and money and
Yeah.
civil asset forfeiture
and keeping some of it.
Yeah, I mean that's what civil asset forfeiture is.
Yeah,
it's literally just.
The
we like
police are
that money.
taking this for evidence. No, just for us.
Yeah, you go to a
suspicious.
police auto
Yeah.
auction and get all those nice seized cars for cheap.
That's my favorite Paul Dano movie where he got his shit kicked in. Prisoners all day. That's the best.
I think There Will Be Blood is a better.
Oh, damn, that's a good one too.
The Church of the Third Revelation.
Man, Paul Dano's awesome
Oh,
at
yeah, he
getting
got
his shit
dragged by his
kicked in.
hair.
You seem pretty sharp to me.
I feel like it
I
was
do love
more
Prisoners, though.
It was more extended in Prisoners.
Yeah, there was more suffering.
Yeah, Paul Dano suffered more in Prisoners, so that's better.
Paul Dano's reputation suffered.
Yeah, but he got
more in
dragged by his hair like a bitch.
Damn, that was a
Huh?
movie that sucked.
Yeah. Forgot it existed until I mentioned it, didn't you?
I really, really did, and it was.
I know, it's one of those.
less than a
It's one of
year
those.
since I saw it at the theater. Yeah, damn.
Director Paul Dano.
Yeah, that movie was worthless.
There was a.
So, by the way, if you're watching and you want to go back through our catalog, Scott had been on multiple episodes. On episode 1488, I'd like to play a bunch of like best of Scott Henson on DP episodes. I just need help finding them because it's a task. So you're breaking up, buddy.
The entire episode's going to be clips of Scott dog whistling.
Yep. I would love that.
Really bad movie.
Like I remember leaving the theater going, "What? Why? Why'd you bother?"
Yeah. I think that was my most disappointing movie of last year.
That and John F. Donovan.
I'm not sure I had as high expectations for John F. Donovan, and also John F. Donovan was more memorable and kind of funny. I didn't actually hate watching it.
And Tifa
I
Catboy
Wizard
says
Man-
Scott has a playlist of all his DP and tap appearances on his YouTube channel.
Huh. Okay.
That's awesome.
Came in and then disappeared.
when literally
when like Gandalf showed up,
Dumbledore showed up.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Like there were a lot of funny things in that movie.
No, there were.
I could watch that movie again.
I was just saying,
for
I'd
sure.
certainly watch that
Yeah.
again before. I'm never watching Wildlife again.
Yeah, Wildlife was legit disappointing.
I'm glad that was there.
Goose Juice, we can't choose who lives and dies unless we kill them ourselves. So Sneeko lives another day.
Glad that was a thing.
Did you see how Sneeko got like Superman punched?
It's so funny. Got his teeth knocked out.
Yeah. Like a big security guard jumped off of a stage or a platform and Superman punched Sneeko.
You
It was
see
insane.
Sneeko's arm reach up and flip the guy's hat off.
Yep.
And then immediately afterwards, the guy gives him the dopest flying punch.
Yep. It's insane.
Even called Wildlife.
Because it's deep, and you have to really think about it to understand the title. I don't know. It was just a fucking name. No, and I feel like there was something
Like the dad left for some reason.
Yeah, there was a.
But-
I think there was a painting or something where they referenced wildlife in the movie. I don't know.
I think
I might be
like
making that up,
2/3
honestly.
through the movie, they saw like a deer.
Look
and
at
there
that
was a
wildlife.
forest fire or something.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Let's go." I don't remember.
We should probably watch it again so we can get a
No.
better handle on it.
Yeah, Wildlife looks like it was an attempt at Oscar bait.
Absolutely.
But
I
like,
hate
even the
listening to
Oscars,
them
like-
talk about movies that suck. Because now I want to, at the same time, not watch this movie and watch it.
We didn't watch it.
Yeah, well, yeah. First of
Thanks,
all, nobody
guys.
watched it.
We didn't
Second of all,
watch it.
Wasn't interesting.
Who's the female lead again? What's her name?
Was it?
It's working.
I think she was in.
Who was it?
This thing is barely running.
She was in Shame. Was the same girl, right?
Was it Rachel Weisz?
No.
Was it?
No, it was
a different person.
She's got like short. Was she in Drive? Also.
Was it Carey Mulligan?
I think yeah, it was.
Yes.
Yeah. If she was nominated for an Oscar, I would not have been upset by that. I think she was the only salvageable part of that movie.
She was good. I don't know if she was one of the 5 best performances of the year.
No, I mean, if the Oscars decided that, I mean, I wouldn't have been upset. Because you can't expect the Oscars to nominate the 5 best performances
That's their
of
job!
the movie.
That's their job!
This game is just so engrossing. We're talking about TIFF movies from
Talking
last
about
year.
a TIFF movie
like,
we hated from last year.
Oscars and like, none of this matters. None of this matters.
Thanks again for watching. As usual, I've got a special thank you to my $5 and up patrons. I am Gretty, aka Lemonade Warrior.
I am Gretty.
I think I've had a YouTube channel for. Does it tell you when you started your YouTube channel?
In the About tab.
Since July 1st, 2006.
Okay, so Scoot's been on YouTube longer than I have.
No joke. I used to watch your videos, Scoot, when I was like a teenager.
You groomed my boyfriend.
Wait, for reals?
Yeah.
I groomed your boyfriend!
I groomed your boyfriend. Groomed your boyfriend. I groomed your boyfriend.
I did not know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I try not to like fangirl when I meet people that I grew up watching.
I don't mind a little fangirling.
Yeah, I know.
A little fangirling is okay as a treat.
Would you say Scoot is the reason why you're a furry?
Oh no, I was a furry before. I was looking up like furry wrestlers.
It's a little treat.
Watching him and
That's
Mr.
me.
Cat. Him and Mr.
Mr.
Cat
Cat.
were pretty much all I watched. Yeah. Adam, did I tell you that I knew Scoot?
Yes.
Oh yeah. You didn't tell him?
No, because you told me not to.
Oh. Oh.
That's
You didn't tell him. You told me not to.
I'm not even
That's
drunk.
so good.
Adam's a good boyfriend.
2012,
Publicly.
2013, watching your videos.
Oh damn! So pretty early.
Yeah.
He was baby.
Like even like that's like
he was baby.
Pre 3, 2, 1. So just like
here, I'll go to your
VCW and
channel.
I suck
Maybe-
dick stuff.
Maybe the history
I suck
will still
stick
be there,
stuff.
but, I mean, that's from a long time ago, but I'll see.
I don't think I uploaded much before like 2010.
Yeah, you didn't have a lot of stuff, but I would like watching
Yeah.
stuff over and over.
Now one could argue there's too much stuff.
Good point, Scott.
Oh. There's not enough stuff, Scott.
Absolutely disgusting. I'm going to call my
Look
congressman.
at Adam doing his like VR shit.
I'm gonna write a sternly worded letter.
I'm gonna
the
write
Trudeau himself.
Pierre Trudeau.
The truest of the does.
I'm gonna write to his dad.
The truest
former Prime
of
Minister.
does.
The guy fucking responsible for French on all of our labels.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Well, his
Piece
name's
of
Pierre
shit.
Trudeau, so. Why do they get the good side of the juice box?
Right?
Seriously, why do they get the good side of everything?
Look, don't get me started. I can't believe Trudeau wasn't assassinated.
In Minecraft.
Assassination jokes of political figures is something that I would not recommend on a live stream, but...
For Pierre Trudeau? I think we could talk about it in the past.
Oh, hey.
Pierre Trudeau
Oh, shit, that's open!
Pierre Trudeau died 17 years ago. I think we're okay.
Oh, did he? I didn't know.
I think we might be safe.
Justin's making him proud. He just made the Canadian national anthem gender neutral.
Finally.
You know what?
We
I'm
stand
not
on
opposed.
guard for they.
That's funny. That's hilarious. I'm actually not opposed to that.
Because
at all.
it's we stand on guard for thee.
I don't really mind it.
For they.
I would take issue
They,
with
them,
it
thee.
if
I like how Adam's got a drink in his hand.
the original anthem hadn't been changed already. Because
Yeah,
it-
that's
the-
something Adam and Scott really liked was nice beverages.
Well, Scott didn't drink like alcohol, really, though. That I know.
No, they like getting like Scott was a big fan of going to America and getting American sodas they didn't have in Canada.
I can almost guarantee Adam's drink here has booze in it.
Well, this probably does. Yeah, but Adam, when he would be in like his hotel in Seattle, if he's coming down for a weekend or something, he would have his hotel refrigerator stocked with delicious beverages. He would always show up with some cool
I
shit to
believe
drink.
you. I'm just saying, like, every time me and Adam would go out, it was a rager. And
well, yeah.
And Adam, the last time Adam came into Seattle, he took very embarrassing footage of me, like blackout drunk, and sent it all to Scott. And Scott was like, "Yeah, I saw that."
You know, he jerked off to it.
And there's this video of me where like I came out of the bathroom and my fly is still down, and I'm all like falling down, like laying down on the floor, like super fucking trashed. It's pretty
Scott
funny.
definitely worked one out to it.
Oh, huh. Well,
he definitely.
It wasn't all
definitely
in vain. did. Adam had this video of me throwing darts at a dartboard. And I'm like hitting like the floor, like throwing darts. It's so fucking stupid, dude.
Was something changed in the national anthem?
Oh,
Yeah, twice now. at
To
least.
what? Do I not know the national anthem anymore?
No, you don't.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot, love, in all thy sons command.
Nope.
Denied. No. In all thy.
In all of us command.
Ah, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true, no strong and free.
You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
When the original anthem was written, Thy Son's Command actually wasn't in it.
Interesting.
So that's why I don't take issue with it, is because it's already been changed.
And also the original anthem had the N word in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In all thus, what was it? In all
neighbors
dost thou command.
Huh.
And then the N word.
Yeah. I like the original personally. Just
Not-
like from
it's not true.
From an aesthetic
How do you
perspective.
know you're not
like it
Canadian?
flowed better
What?
with the N word?
I Googled it.
But all these fucking PC cucks nowadays, we gotta do what they say.
All right, bathroom break number 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back again. Big face Billy. I want to go back in time a little bit. Do some Scott stories. Scott was there with me when I made 2 different waitresses cry. But at the time, we would go to this restaurant in Shoreline Club Hollywood, and I had this gimmick where I'd get 50% off meals, and the meals were already there pretty reasonably priced. We'd all gang up there and get a bunch of steak dinners with like asparagus and mashed potatoes, get little appletinis and shit and drink it up. And Scott was the person that taught me that ordering steak anything other than rare is wrong. And ever since then, I've been eating raw steaks because of Scott Henson. Raw steaks. Wolford. Yeah, Scott's family, Scott's friends, all of like I've been getting messages from all the boys that we wrestled with for so many years, and everybody is just taken aback by this. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's unreal. It's very, very hard to process. And
all right,
you just have to do what you have to do. The show would have been so much different if we had to go live last night.
Well,
oh my God, it would have been
like, out of respect, we couldn't have talked about this. So,
yeah, well, yeah, like we were supposed to go live last night, and it was like it's impossible. We got to give ourselves a day.
And the wind was totally taken out of my sails. You want to know another funny thing about that night? Like, I was out with Adam, and I was like blacked out. We were out all day. I don't remember most of it. me and him went to this bar, and Adam's like, "You need water. I'm gonna get you some water." And he put a cup of water on our like I sat down at a table, and he put a cup of water in front of me, and he put a cup of water for himself too. And he's like, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back." And when he came back, I'm sitting there and all the water is spilled everywhere, like all over the floor and all over like literally everything. And I'm just like sitting there like acting like nothing happened. It's one of the funniest fucking things ever. Oh my God. And nobody noticed. Like no one gave a shit. Oh, dude.
And you might have a water problem. That's water abuse.
Yeah.
The show finally broke Gael.
Always fall on your nose. Please don't be Gandalf. Please don't be Gandalf. Please. No.
Sounds like he doesn't want it to be Gandalf.
You can't do this to me.
He has a recorder. No.
You can't.
You're tooting.
Please. Oh, please don't be Gandalf. Please let it still be Radagast. Please.
Is it Radagast?
He's almost crying.
On Middle Earth at this point in the story.
Did
they arrive?
Did they recast Radagast the Brown to be a black guy?
Much later, he has to meet with Círdan the Shipwright, which was, I just realized wasn't
I want to punch him in the
he has
mouth.
to be given Narya. There's.
He has to meet with Círdan the Shipwright.
Ladies and gentlemen, we broke him.
I refuse to believe it. It's like a 4%.
You're in full denial.
Okay, now it's like 15% because of that quote. Maybe like.
Could be another fake out.
15%.
Please don't be Gandalf.
That's pretty funny. He was having a bad time.
I was so happy that I got to record Gael watching that show. It was so funny. I wouldn't have watched it any other way.
He's just tired.
Holy shit.
They're fighting together. It's like the most romantic fight scene. Really? Ah! This is so funny. Oh no.
So what happened to the fucking
I've never watched these movies before.
Fog of War?
Oh.
That was just.
And I didn't even realize that like they were filmed on the peninsula and like they even drink Rainier and shit in the movie. That's crazy.
The books were based in the peninsula, so I didn't know that they were filmed there. But
did I
that's
tell you
interesting.
about Dead Boy Detectives on Netflix?
I think you did, yeah.
Yeah. They it's all set in what was it? Point Roberts? Is it?
Is that up by Forks?
It's it's like near Bremerton. But it was all filmed in Canada.
Someone in our chat earlier said Bremerton has the best pizza. I can't believe that. I can't believe that.
By the way, Moto Pizza is unbelievable in Seattle, like Detroit.
Is that the
style.
one that used to have like a crazy wait, like a 2-month waiting period?
Yes.
Yeah.
They have one at the baseball park now, and there's 3 in Seattle, and they're just about to open one on the east side, and we're about to get Shake Shack on the east side, which I'm crazy excited about too.
There's a Shake Shack in the same parking lot as a Fogo de Chao, and it just can't compare.
It depends on what you want. They can't make a burger at Fogo as good as Shake Shack.
Shut up. Fucking.
It was all a dream.
Really?
Peter Fasinelli's still alive.
Nobody died.
Seth is still alive.
Nobody died.
All the stakes are fabricated.
Oh God. What's this?
Doing the
This is the
raping.
Evanescence song. It's number 1.
What?
It's My Immortal.
Is this your
My Immortal and
elementary school, Ben?
This pain is just too
Oh yeah, the best movie ever.
Is it Daredevil?
Yeah.
Too much better.
And she's Elektra, right? In this, dude, I remember this shit. This was like pre-MCU, like Marvel in movies.
Ben Affleck has the best movies. They get huge ratings. They win Oscars.
He played Batman
unless
and Daredevil, which is so fucking weird.
Unless he's in them with a woman he's dating.
What was it Geely that he made with J-Lo?
Geely and Jersey Girl.
Cannot erase.
You cried, I'd wipe away all of your tears. You scream, I'd fight away all of your fears.
Kevin Nash played the Russian and Super Shredder.
I held your hand through all of these years. You still.
And that's the dude that played Kingpin, right?
Michael Clark Duncan was Kingpin. I'm gonna cry, dude. I'm gonna actually cry right now.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Who's getting the sandbags? Who's pulling down the sandbags?
They're automated.
Okay.
She's really.
Who's pulling the sandbags?
What the hell? You're grabbing.
They're automated.
Wake me up.
Wake me up! Oh, dude, I love this weird version of it. Holy shit. You know, I do want to... one of the funniest things that Scott loved so much on this show was when Vito and Dick Masterson went to protest, like counter-protest at Netflix against Dave Chappelle. And the weird, like, Antifa guy broke Vito's sign and to where like Vito only had a stick in his hands, and the guy was like, he's got a weapon. Scott fucking loved that so much. He always told me that was one of the funniest things that he's ever seen. How you can like fashion the other guy's thing into a weapon and then be like, he has a weapon.
He has a weapon. That's how most fucking murder, accidental murders happen. Somebody sets someone up to get fucking trampled. Might as well throw him down a flight of stairs at that point. Sicko prick. Leave Vito alone, damn it.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, before we start the game, we're going to do a review
of my ass.
Coca-Cola Quebec Maple, which...
Oh, shit. Sure what is that?
Maple syrup flavored Coca-Cola.
In a glass bottle. What even is that?
That's Canadian.
Gotta drink that with some what's that big Canadian whiskey they drink? Is Crown Royal Canadian?
In America or just Canada? But
I think it's just Canada. There's a Quebec maple and there's a BC raspberry.
Oh. I don't remember.
There's a BC raspberry cola?
I think they're both good. If I had to choose, I would choose the raspberry.
No.
But I would
it's
drink
maple syrup.
It's
Give me
maple
some
syrup.
BC raspberry with some Crown Royal, dude. Give me that.
All right.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Yeah, I should be in a tuxedo.
If Canada has these two flavor Coca-Colas, what flavors would American have? Like processed cheese Coca-Cola?
I should get a different one.
Tobacco Coca-Cola?
Tobacco cola, you mean?
Tobacco cola.
It is as advertised. It's like if you had.
That's a nice little sipper pour he did
cola.
there.
Yeah, it's good.
Dude, Adam is very much a fucking flavor guy. Remember when he brought in was a bottle of 1942 Don Julio?
Yes. Me and Adam went to like a multi-course like taster meal together, and we got the wine pairing with everything. And yeah, you can tell like he's into like the sip, like some of the wines he didn't like, and I had to finish for him. You know, he didn't like the stronger, like more bold wine, and I'm just an alcoholic.
He wasn't
so
gonna
I'll
drink
it
that
all.
swill. He was like, take my swill, Ben. My palate can't be
I took it.
bothered with this.
Yeah. Yeah, we had like a white gazpacho, which I've never seen in my life. Well, and the dessert was like a little mushroom. It looked like a little mushroom, but it wasn't a mushroom. It was like almost like a marshmallow dessert. It
Oh
was
yeah,
so weird.
the meringue.
It looked like a marshmallow. It like 100% looked
Remember
like a little
the
marshmallow.
Remember the mushroom or the mushroom mousse, right? Was it Evolve in Bellevue? Those terrarium desserts they have there. Have you ever had them?
Yeah, at
those are
Ascend.
great. Ascend, yeah, not Evolve. Ascend.
Yeah. It looks like a little like elf village or like gnome village or something like Smurfs.
It's like they literally give you an aquarium full
Where
of a little
Smurfs
elf
live.
village that you eat.
Yeah.
And they got little fucking mushroom houses and
Amanita
chocolate trees
muscaria, the red mushrooms with the white dots on top of them, like that kind of shit.
It's that good shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all marshmallows. It's pretty good. All right, we're going to do one more video here.
Absolutely disgusting. I'm going to call my congressman.
I'm gonna write a
Oh,
stern.
no. We already watched this one. Never mind. That was the last video. 1488 episode. I'd like some more time to prepare a proper tribute to our buddy Scott. This was just us out of the blue doing our thing tonight. We didn't do a show last night. I just didn't feel up to it. It's a rough one.
Yeah, it's hard to if we would have did a show last night before anything came public, it would have been like Ben and I just staring off, like trying not to think about Scott.
Yeah, I remember you being like, I'm freaking out, you know.
Yeah. It's like still I have this heaviness in my throat. All my friends that I've been talking to, we've known Scott for so long. It's the same feeling, this void that somebody who, you know, was very much a friend, that you didn't just like love Scott as a friend, you looked up to him as a friend. You know, you like when we needed people to come in on Drunken Peasants, do some hosting, get some more people in here. Scott was one of the first people I thought of. Brought him here to Drunken Peasants because I knew he would kill it on this platform.
He did.
Yeah, he just fit right in. He's that guy. He's just it's such a loss. Like everybody watching right now, it's a loss to you guys because he entertained you guys. It's a loss to his friends, his closest friends, his family. It's just ridiculous how perfectly he fit into wherever he was, right? Like he belonged wherever he was, and the entire room centered around Scott, and he was that guy, whether it was a crowd full of wrestling fans or a room full of buddies just wanted to have some food and tell some jokes. If he was on a stream, you know, he was that guy, and to lose him is it's to lose something that you don't understand the loss, because it's always just been such a sure thing. He was always such a sure thing every single time, and it's like there's just not somebody who can walk the walk of Big Cat Scott Henson, hot shit Scott Henson. He's been that guy since I knew him, and so many people around him are amazing people because, you know, he raised the bar, and we all chose to do something daring and do something fun and crazy, and he was right there in the middle of it all. So everybody who knew Scott, whether you knew him just from watching him or knew him because he was your friend, we're all feeling the same way right now. And there's no reasonable answer to this other than just let it hurt for a while and move forward and tell jokes that go a little too far, or shut the hell up if you're not funny. Scott pulled it off. So many people that are edgy just don't got the finesse that my guy had.
How about this one?
I have resting black face.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott,
I got this one.
Scott's messages were so fucking good. His tweets, his posts, his Facebook. My cat is 6 years old. Is he too old for me to still be breastfeeding him?
Yeah, I grabbed these earlier. I like this one.
Corkscrew tails and corkscrew dicks. Get it together, pigs.
Oh, God. Yeah. I could have said it better than you, Billy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of the worst parts is I had him scheduled for tomorrow. Me and him worked out like a long-term kind of thing for him to show up. So yeah, it's an unbelievable loss. I think it's probably good time to end tonight's stream. I am streaming tomorrow, and me and Asterios will be here. He liked Asterios so much. It was unbelievable how much he liked Asterios. They kind of had a weird dynamic. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for your support. Keep an eye on everything. Just send your love to his friends and family and everyone. It's a hard loss. So, have a good night. We're going to wrap it up and we'll see you next
everybody.
time. Good night.
In the beginning, there was nothing, and then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants.